think it's calm. We look at the American flag off to our right, and it might indicate a breeze of 4 or 5 miles an hour out of the south, or out of the north blowing toward the south, I should say. Dazzling sunshine, a perfect afternoon for a junior college football game. Dodge City's Conquistadors, as you heard in the pregame, coached by Gary Thomas, they're 3-5. Somewhat misleading, like a lot of losing records in this league are. And Hutchinson's Blue Dragons, they're on a 5-game tear. They're 7-1, still hoping for an outside shot at making their way into a national championship game. Blue Dragons look to improve offensively and keep the defense going. Working the sidelines for us this afternoon, Randy McKay for Glenn Grunwald. Randy, beautiful down there.
I tell you what, it is just gorgeous. You know, they say Chicago is the windy city, but statistically, Dodge City often has windier than Chicago is. But today, like you said, 5 miles an hour out of the north with about 64 degrees right now at game time. So it is just a beautiful day. Let's just hope that the Dragons can hold on and give the day a good day.
Well, the Dragons have been terrific, Darren Dunn, defensively, looking to improve offensively this afternoon. But they'll be tested by a couple of pretty good running backs for Dodge City.
Not bad. I mean, it's not the greatest running game in the world. In fact, 7th in the conference, 2.8 yards per carry for this team. Didn't fare so well in Iowa Central. Heard about all those troubles with homecoming against the Tritons. Averaged just 1.7 yards a carry in that game. What I'd like to see with this weather is the quarterbacks, both of them. Mason Shucker for the Blue Dragons, Drew Harris for the Conquistadors, coming off some pretty bad ball games.
Well, the Blue Dragons, like I said, trying to build momentum. The schedule works out nicely for Hutchinson, assuming that the Blue Dragons win this afternoon here in Dodge City, which certainly is no given, and that Garden City wins at home against visiting Highland. That would set up a magnificent matchup in 2 weeks in Gowan Stadium. Although Garden City has a game next week, the Blue Dragons have a bye week, and or when you look at the Hutchinson too deep in the injury situation, this Blue Dragon football team can use a week off. Andrew Lee is out, injury. Jonathan White's out. That's 2 running backs. Already out, Aaron Collins. He's been out for a long while. Jalen Pant, Art Green, Latrell Bankston, and L.K. Eichner out for the whole season. That's a lot of quality players that aren't with the Blue Dragons.
When you're looking at guys we were talking last week, Aaron Collins, even with just 2 games, because they were such great statistical contests, he's still leading some categories in the Jayhawk and 1 in the nation. So that's the big one. Eichner, even though he's now missed 3 ball games, this will be his 4th. He's almost 2nd and 3rd on the team and some tackles for loss. So even the guys who have stepped up aren't quite meeting him statistically for what he was able to do through that first portion of the season. That means with the running back situation, you'll probably see a lot more of Drake Bullis in that backfield splitting time with Desmond Jackson.
When you look at these 2 teams from a numbers standpoint, it's a little bit misleading because each has played a team outside the league that provided them with very little, if any, competition. The Blue Dragons beat up on Resolution Prep 82-0, and Dodge City's Conquistadors, well, they played Gordon's Academy of Fine Arts and Sports and won that one 93-0. So you can pretty much toss the numbers out. But one thing I think is pretty legitimate, the Blue Dragons are about 2 touchdowns a game better than Dodge City defensively, and I think that's pretty realistic.
And I think that is something you saw last week. The offense wasn't really clicking for the Blue Dragons, but the defense able to get it done and even score some points for the offense. Now with such a beautiful day, if the offense can make things click, if you bring together all 3 phases of the game, you heard Coach talk about over this past week, felt really great about the defense, not so much the other 2 phases of the game. You bring in maybe even just one of those other phases, this could be a much different ball game.
We need to hear from some of the great friends of Hutchinson Community College football. Let's do that over the course of the next couple of minutes. We'll be back with Kickoff in 2.
We understand you can't plan ahead for an illness or injury, yet you'd really like same-day treatment. That's why Prairie Star offers walk-in clinic services with a responsive medical staff to care for you and your family.
P.S. We want to be your medical home.
Welcome to Prairie Star Health Center and Walk-In Clinic, whether you have insurance or not. 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelia's filled with thousands of beads and stones. And with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelia's, 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons.
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Don't pack away your summer pieces just yet. It may still be warm, yet summer to fall fashions are here at Brick House Boutique. Comfortable and affordable casual clothes at 117 South Main in Hutchinson. Big city chic in a downtown boutique.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. I invite you to join us this winter as the proud tradition of Blue Dragon men's and women's basketball continues at the historic Hutchinson Sports Arena. Both teams are favorites in the tough Jayhawk Conference, so you won't want to miss any of the action. Find the schedule at BlueDragonSports.com, like us on Facebook, and follow Blue Dragon Sports on Twitter. As always, go Blue Dragons.
We are located in Memorial Stadium in Dodge City. This is actually a high school football field. It is the home of the Dodge City Red Demons, a team with a lot of heritage going for it. The toss was won by Dodge City. They deferred their option to the beginning of the third quarter. Hutchinson will get the football, and boy, there's just nothing to be gained by what direction you go here. Wind, absolutely no factor. And guys, I can remember coming out here, and I've obviously been doing it for a long, long while. I can remember games out here where the rain was blowing sideways. I can remember games where the wind was literally blowing 50 miles an hour. This is going to be a very welcome change of pace.
Couldn't have asked for a better day. You want to get the running game obviously off to a good start. Desmond Jackson, back-to-back now Player of the Week honors for him. You get him going. Hopefully that leads to good things for Mason Shucker. He was a little bit off, though, in the pregame.
Yeah, let's go back to Randy down on the sideline. Randy, you're there thanks to the good folks at Jackson Meat. Talk to us a little bit about one of Hutchinson's really outstanding family-owned businesses.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want some great meat, you got to go to Jackson. They've always got some kind of special going on there on West 6th in Hutchinson, and it is just some fantastic meat. You gotta try it. If you've never had any Jackson meat, then you've got to get by there and try it. But as far as today's game, the Dragons are looking for meat as well, and hopefully in the form of the conquistadors. As far as the stands go, both sides are pretty empty. There's almost as many Hutch fans here as there are Dodge City fans. So that will be negated.
And that, I think, is certainly a characteristic of this league, at least somewhat brought on by the fact that there are so many out-of-staters in this league now. You used to get a lot of parents and so forth, but with not many Kansas players making the field, that has not been the situation this year. Dodge City will kick. Dragons will work left to right as you listen. That's north to south. Back deep for the Blue Dragons, Jalen Irwin stands on his goal line. And Devontae Guillory, a good kicker, ready to approach the football. Dodge City in white and gold. Blue Dragons, gray pants, and it's a line drive kickoff, and it'll go into and out the back of the end zone. So the Blue Dragons will get it at the 25-yard line. First possession of the football game. This is an artificial turf field. It is a wonderful place to watch a football game. Our vantage point probably 30, 35 feet above the surface. Perfect viewing angle. For the Blue Dragons, going to work will be Mason Shucker. Desmond Jackson is his running back. Jackson in the midst of quite a season. He's rushed for 750-plus yards. Shucker starts in the shotgun, rolls to his left, throws short and throws it a little bit too tall, a little bit too hard perhaps for it to be handled by Desmond Jackson.
Still a catchable ball. That's what you miss with Aaron Collins being gone. If you look at those guys side by side, Collins not only a great runner out of the backfield, able to catch to the tune of twice as many yards per catch than what Jackson is giving the Blue Dragons.
Jalen Irwin splits wide to the left side. To the right side, it's Khalil McClain. Slot on the right side of the formation for the Dragons. Shucker wants to throw again. He throws deep. He's got a receiver out there, and he missed him. Irwin was wide open. I think had he just kept running his pattern, he started looking back for the football a little bit early, it might have been a completion. Ball was thrown a long ways, threw it all the way to the 40-yard line of Dodge City. But 2 incomplete passes, and it for Hutchinson is 3rd and 10.
That's that old rule, never overthrow the wide open receiver. He had Younger and Wilson completely beat from the line of scrimmage.
Shucker will try to set up the screen pass, and it is incomplete. Again, through the hands of the intended receiver, and a very, very slow start for Desmond Jackson. He's had 2 balls that he could easily have caught. Didn't catch either one. The Dragons throw 3 passes, and will have to punt.
He's probably better off not catching that as well. Cephas Smith had missed his setup block, and if Jackson gets that ball, he's going to take a huge shot.
Back deep for Dodge City is Kadarius Satterwhite. He stands between his 30 and 35-yard line. Matt Jones punt, it is a beauty. High, but returnable, taken at the 35-yard line, and a good return in the middle of the open field. Breaks to the outside into Hutchinson territory and run out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So a nice punt by Jones, but not very good coverage at all, and a good return by Kadarius Satterwhite and Dodge City in a great spot.
He shows you why he averages over 13 yards per punt return. Now, this is where you see if the Blue Dragons can continue what it started last week and be able to clamp down on defense when the offense has really good field position.
Dodge City running back Anthony Watkins has been the most productive of those backs. He has 550 yards. Drew Harris is the quarterback. He throws for a little bit less than 50% completions. He starts out in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off, and Dodge City keeps it on the ground on the initial play, and a pretty good penetration on the right side and about a 4-yard pickup. Watkins with the carry, and he is very, very slow to get up. He is. Yeah, that was actually a big old lineman that was slow to get up. Watkins is fine. It's a gain actually of 2 yards from the 42 to the 40. And coming to the sideline for the Conquistadors,
Justin Helton.
Yeah, big guy.
6'3", 305.
Yeah, Terrell Warner sets up in the wide receiver spot on the right side on 2nd down and 8. Dodge City with a nice punt return at the Hutchinson 40-yard line, 2nd down. Drew Harris hands off, and the Dragons this time having no part of it. Anthony Watkins again on the carry, no yardage. Hutchinson has been just terrific defensively against the run all year long. And it is 3rd down and 8. And Dodge City in danger of not doing anything with that outstanding punt return. Drew Harris has trips to the left side. Dodge City looked like they were ready to go. Now quarterback Drew Harris stands up, steps back half a step, ready to take the snap, wants to throw, throws it left and throws it over the head of his intended receiver, trying to get it to Tyrese Ritchie on the left sideline. It would have been Ritchie's 23rd catch of the year. It's incomplete. And once again, guys, the Dragon defense doing its thing.
That's his favorite receiver on the year. As you mentioned, leads the team with those 22 receptions. And Harris is coming off statistically a season worst 31.3% passing last week.
All right, the kicker or the punter for Dodge City is Devontae Guillory. averages 42 yards a punt. He certainly has the leg to put it in the end zone. Jalen Irwin back for the Dragons. Punt is angled away from Irwin, and it is going to be fielded at the 1-yard line. Wow, what a job. What a wonderful job of getting downfield to cover that punt. And Hutchinson saddled with as bad a field position as you can get.
Some quarterbacks can't even throw it that beautifully to a receiver, and that's what it looked like off the foot of Gilrery to Daquan Bailey-Brown, just waiting on that punt to come down, catch it, set it down on that 1-foot line.
I was watching him in pregame kicking field goals routinely from 50 yards away. All right, Blue Dragons, 3 passing plays on their first series, all of them incomplete. Now they're in the end zone, and there's a flag on the play as the Dragons run it straight ahead. We'll have to wait and see, either encroachment or motion.
I didn't see any movement on the offense, so it should go against Dodge City.
And you are correct. Nice job, Randy. Again, Randy McKay filling in this afternoon for Glenn Grunwald, who is otherwise occupied in Hutchinson. A little bit better field position now out at the 6-yard line. Des Jackson is the running back. It'll be 1st and 5. Jackson gets the carry and gets rejected. Hit the line with a pretty good surge and just got shoved backwards. They'll give him a little bit of progress, maybe a pickup of a couple of yards, maybe 1 yard. Let's call it a gain of 1, a 2nd down 4. And the down marker, slow to acknowledge the fact that it is 2nd down, but it certainly is. Shucker back in the shotgun. Has a couple of wideouts to each side of the field. Throws low. Missed Irwin. Not a well-thrown ball at all by Mason Shucker.
That's the problem we saw with him last week at Coffeyville. Even when they tried to get those little swing passes, those dumps out of the backfield, he was off target. And there again, even though it hits the hands of Irwin, he's trying to stop his route and come back to it, and it's just so far down at his ankles, there's no way he can make it back in time.
Shucker may be doing a little too much thinking. Wants to throw. This time he hits his receiver, and the Blue Dragons get it out to about the 19-yard line on a throw to Jalik Jagway. That'll get him a 1st down. That one was well delivered.
And it's a pass like that that can really get you going. All those other passes, he starts off his 0 for 3. That pass right there might be the one that catches him on fire.
So the Blue Dragons, starting this drive at their own 1-yard line, get a 1st down out at the 19. Man in motion across the formation. They fake the reverse and go to Jackson, and Jackson is loose at the 30, at the 35, at the 40. They're chasing at the 40 of Dodge. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Blue Dragon touchdown. Des Jackson, 81 yards.
That's that left side that this Blue Dragon team exposed against Coffeyville. Went to it finally here, and it works out. Keep in mind that the Blue Dragons are undefeated when Jackson goes for a 44-plus yard scamper.
Well, that's almost double 44. Let's call it 81 yards officially. Blue Dragons will try to tack on the extra point. Sebastian Garcia is about as close to automatic as you can be. And this one stretches Hutchinson's early lead to 7-0. 11 and a half to play in the first quarter. Let's take a break.
Vehicles are getting pretty smart these days with semi-automatic control features that make driving easier. But riding an RCAT vehicle is easier yet. You don't have to do a thing. Just stand along the route, wave your hand at the driver, and hop on. RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation that travels throughout Hutchinson and South Hutchinson hourly, on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 694-2913 for further information.
When you are beaten a week ago 58-7 as Dodge City was on a trip to Iowa, you're looking for something good to happen early to make you think that this afternoon's going to be different. So far, it's gone just the other way. Blue Dragons up 7-0. Here comes the kickoff, and it's low, scooting along the ground, fielded at the 28-yard line, and returned to about the 35, 36-yard line. Again on the return, it was Kadarius Satterwhite. He's a young man from Noonan, Georgia. And Dodge City will start there.
That's something Coach Thomas was talking about in the pregame. You have to put those guys who are normal return guys. You saw Satterwhite on the punt return. You put him as one of those up backs for those kicks that you have to deal with. Typically, it's because of the wind. Today, it's just merely a tactical type of kick, and that's why he has such a good returner in that up back position.
So Dodge City had it at the Hutch 42 after a nice punt return for their first possession. Dragon defense rejected that attempt. Now Dodge City shows us a spread formation with trips left. And Harris pitches. Dodge City runs left, and there is a saving tackle for the Blue Dragons. A nice play by Darius Miller. Would have been a big gainer. Is there a flag dropped? I didn't see it.
Ends up being a nice play for a first down. Caleb Bryce did a good job of reading that it was a run. Unable to get there to the backfield, though. And at the end of it, it was Relaford coming off the backside with that tackle.
If he doesn't make that play, might still be running all the way to the end zone. It is a 1st and 10 at midfield for Dodge City. Dodge City's quarterback almost all year long has been Drew Harris. 6'3", nice-sized kid from Camden, New Jersey. Trying to make something happen. Loads it up, fires it left, and is caught, but for virtually no gain, maybe a pickup of a couple of yards. Blue Dragon defenders were waiting. Ball delivered right on target. Put it in the hands of Terrell Warner, his 17th catch of the year, but not a whole lot of gain.
And that's one of those passes we talked about early in the season, how some quarterbacks, they have the arm strength to really zip it from one side of the field all the way out to the other side to the numbers. You saw the slowness of that ball. That's why there was no yards to be gained after the catch.
Again, trips to the left side for Dodge City. Conquistadors trailing Hutchinson early on. 7-0. 81-yard touchdown run by Des Harris. And Dodge City quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes back in Conquistador country at the 48-yard line. Dragons are second in the country in sacks on quarterbacks, and that sack is the 38th of the football season.
Yeah, and Monty Montgomery was the one that got in there. He was blocked and knocked down to the ground, but as he was falling, he pulled down the quarterback.
So it is 3rd down and 12, and this Hutchinson defense continues to play very well. Drew Harris with a 3rd and 12 probably has to throw it. Hutchinson knows that. And that aggressive Hutchinson defense will go after the quarterback again. This time he has time, throws it low, and I don't know whether he got his hands under it or not. They're going to say it was a catch at the Hutchinson 40-yard line. Tyrese Ritchie did a whale of a job on a ball that was thrown very low, and it's a first down.
You heard that thud, and from where we are, it's hard to tell if that was a thud in the chest or a thud on the ground. The official said it was a thud in the chest. I'm surprised that they don't look at this because where they marked the ball was not necessarily a first down.
Well, they've moved the markers, so it is now at the Hutchinson 40-yard line. Second time Dodge City has been in Dragon country. Man in motion across the formation. Quarterback drops back, loads it up, throws long, got an open receiver, and he missed him. Easily a couple of steps on the defense gained by Eugene Minter, but simply Drew Harris overthrown. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Surprised that Minter was able to get that kind of separation. Football again at the Hutchinson 40-yard line. Dragons lead it 7-0, 8.5 to play, period number 1.
That's a matchup we'll have to watch with Minter being guarded by Ronald Williams.
Harris takes the snap, hands off, and a nice spin move and a gain of perhaps 4 or 5 yards for Anthony Watkins. Little guy, built low to the ground. He's from Harvey, Illinois. Dodge City coach Gary Thomas coached at DuPage a number of years ago, likes to recruit that area. It is a 3rd and 5 after the 5-yard gain.
Watkins, no doubt, the feature back, came into this game with 50 more carries than anybody else on the team, and you can see he's still in there as a 3rd down back.
Dodge City's been able to score a lot of points. They average 30-plus. Dragons trying to get them off the field. A chance with a 3rd down and 5. Harris back, pressure comes, throws long, got a receiver, and it is broken up at the last minute on a marvelous job defensively by the Blue Dragons. What a job done on that particular situation by Williams.
And that's the one we said to look for. He was beaten on that play, but Harris, again, thinking about that last overthrow, tried to shorten it up a bit, and when he did for Miles Henderson, Williams was able to close in on it and knock it away. Nearly came away with the interception.
All right, it is 4th down. It is within field goal range, but they're not going to try it. I say they're within field goal range.
As long as 50 on the year. So right on that cusp.
Dragons threatening blitz. Dodge City will take a timeout. So will we. Here are the relevant numbers. 7:43 left, period number 1. Hutchinson 7, Dodge City nothing. 4th down and 5 at the Blue Dragon 35-yard line. We're coming right back.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
You were telling me, Darren, when we drove up to Dodge this morning, how highly Dodge City coach Gary Thomas thinks of Des Jackson. And so far, his worst nightmares have come to fruition.
Yeah, of course, when you bring up any great back in Blue Dragon history, he had to bring up Alvin Kamara. I'm just wondering if he's seen much of Aaron Collins, because Aaron Collins deserves to be in that conversation. It's just too bad he got hurt after a couple of games. Blue Dragons may be hoping to get him healthy or at least back out onto the field with the boot off with that 5th metatarsal break later this next week.
It is a 4th down and 5. And Dodge City keeping the offense on the football field after the timeout. Dragon defense trying to keep Dodge City off the scoreboard. Get the ball back for the Hutch offense. And they try to set up the little screen pass, and it is mishandled. Slipped through the hands of the intended receiver, Terrell Warner, and Hutchinson will take over on downs. Last time the Blue Dragons had the football, guys, all they did was go 99 yards on a touchdown drive, capped by that 81-yard run by Des Harris.
As long with Desmond Jackson, that's his 6th touchdown in a row. 6th game in a row now. He's found pay dirt. And, of course, good things have happened when he does that. I say right now, forget about gaining confidence in the passing game. Keep feeding him the rock.
Hutchinson shows 3 wideouts and a triangle on the left side. Shucker hands off, and the Blue Dragons net 1 on a 1st down carry.
Wrapped up nicely, coming around that edge, or at least slowed down by the defensive end. But a guy that the Conquistadors really like defensively is Kobe Perry. Leads this team in not only tackles, but solo tackles. The only problem from an outsider standpoint, he's a defensive back. And bad things tend to happen when your leading tackler is back in the secondary.
Dragon running back is Monty Ellis. Shucker wants to throw this one. He throws it downfield and has his man at the 40-yard line. It is a Hutchinson reception. Pretty well thrown ball and pulled in by Khalil McLean. And the Dragons in business on the Dodge City half.
And what hasn't this kid done this season? He has a stat in just about every category you can find him in. He's caught touchdowns, thrown for touchdowns, run the ball, has tackles, and even kick returns to his credit this year.
So the Blue Dragons trying to extend a 7-0 advantage at the 38 of Dodge City. And Shucker fakes giving it to Ellis, winds up hanging on to it. Don't know whether that was a set play or a broken play. Basically, no gain, maybe a yard.
Yeah, I think he went and finally read one. We haven't seen him pull those down in those RPOs, and he did there. And I guess if you say it's only a gain of a yard or less, it probably was the wrong read.
Dragons second down and 9. A little over 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Rusty Hills, Randy McKay, and Darren Dunn with you from the Cowboy Capital, Dodge City. Delayed handoff and a hole that closes quickly. And Dragons pick up about 2 yards to the 35-yard line, where it'll be a third down and still 7.
One guy the Blue Dragons are trying to get a block on is Lakia Henry. Another guy the Conquistadors are really high on. He's a Tennessee commit and actually still getting offers. Florida just laid him down an offer over the last couple of weeks.
He's their second leading tackler with 60 now on the season. Shucker as McLean goes in motion, right to left, sets up on the left side. Shucker steals a glance over at the Hutch sideline. Play clock at 3, at 2, at 1. They're not going to get it off. Wow, unless they got a timeout called that I didn't see. It's delay of game on the Blue Dragons. Got to get the plays in quicker than that. It'll be a third down now and 12. Des Jackson comes back in at the running back spot. Blue Dragon kicker also has a good leg. We're talking about Sebastian Garcia, but he is not in field goal range right now. It'll be a 57 or 8-yarder from where the Dragons are at the moment.
Yeah, ironically, you'd like to gain back those yards lost on the penalty, and you'd be thinking about it.
Pressure comes. Shucker steps up, unloads into double coverage, and the ball is knocked away. Dragons trying to get it to Jalik Jagway. He was well covered, and it'll be fourth down for Hutchinson, and the Dragons will punt.
What a block in the backfield by Desmond Jackson. That play could have been blown up a lot sooner. Jackson had to block from the inside out. He knew that, but he had 2 Conquistadors to block, and because he went inside first, he successfully pinballed the defenders into one another and kept Shucker clean to even have that ball get a chance.
All right, Dragons will try to pin Dodge City inside the 10. Jones punt, angled right, lands at the 10, takes a big bounce into the end zone. So not the result that the Dragons were hoping for. The punt nets out at only about 20 yards because on the touchback it comes to the 20-yard line.
It's only the 5th touchback of the season for Matt Jones, who's been so good at pinning teams back inside their own 20s.
So with the exception of the 81-yard touchdown run by Desmond Jackson, this has been pretty much a game dominated by the defenses. Dragons lead at 7-0. And the gold-clad Conquistadors go back to work. Drew Harris is the quarterback. Hands off, and the Dragons have no part of it. Get a takeaway. Is it going to be a touchdown?
It is.
Did they strip the ball away? They did. It is taken away by Blue Dragon Monty Montgomery, and he has a Dragon touchdown.
You saw that weird turn as the ball was being taken up the middle, and suddenly it's Monty Montgomery. Look what I found, kind of Khalil Mack-ish, where you just strip it from the defender right into your own hands and take it home. Back-to-back games now for him with defensive touchdowns.
What kind of a weapon is this Hutchinson defense?
That was a Harry Houdini move.
I have to say this defense is as good as any I've seen at Hutchinson, and there have been some dandies. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. And Hutchinson, with 4:25 to play in the first quarter, leads Dodge City 14-0. More from Western Kansas after we take this break.
Love your smartphone, but not your current service provider? Or the idea of having to buy a new phone when you switch? Now you don't have to. You can bring your device to Next Tech Wireless. Enjoy our high-speed 4G network, nationwide coverage, exceptional local customer service, plus your first 2 months will be absolutely free. You'll also enjoy monthly savings, including unlimited data for as low as $20 per month. Certain restrictions apply. Switch to Nextech Wireless, keep your current phone, and receive your first 2 months free.
Well, defense can score a lot of points for you guys, and Monty Montgomery has a couple of touchdowns to his credit in the last 2 games.
He's working on another Defensive Player of the Week, coming off that last week. Last week has the pick 6, here a strip 6.
Kick is high, kick is deep, taken in the end zone, and Dodge City will bring it out. Dragons with good coverage downfield, and this gamble is not going to pay. Dodge will start at its own 15-yard line. Well, Justin Underwood, trying to make something happen, returned it from about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Could have had it out at the 25-yard line. They'll have it at the 15.
It could be even worse as we have a penalty on the play, and it's going against the return of the Conquistadors. We'll take that half the distance, and it's even a worse start. And for Underwood, he was hesitant to begin with. First of all, bringing it out. Second of all, thought about handing it off to a teammate for a reverse. And by that time, Blue Dragons had already crashed down on him.
The defensive players in this league are just simply too quick for slow developing things to have much value. All right, Dodge City comes back out trailing 14-0. The Conquistadors have moved the football in the middle of the field a bit, but Hutchinson with the game's points, 14 of them. Dodge City keeps it on the ground and a pretty nice gain on first down out to the 12 or the 13-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 6 yards for Anthony Watkins. He's approaching 600 yards rushing on the season.
Bigger back than we saw last week at Coffeyville when you were talking about a guy that was 5'5". Watkins is 5'10", but he kind of bounced around inside that hole like he was 5'5", disappeared for a minute.
Second down. Between 4 and 5 yards to go. Dodge City in no hurry. Clock still indicating 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Dodge City keeping it on the ground, and the Blue Dragons doing what they always do. How about that, Randy, for gang tackling? Just a whole bunch of Blue Dragons running to the football.
A couple of guys that don't get a lot of credit that really stuffed that hole this time on that front line, Anthony Ramsey and Tremel Walthour.
It is third down for Dodge City. Blue Dragons will get great field position if Dodge City has to punt from here. Dodge City struggling to make things happen. They've had a little bit of success throwing the football, none at all running it.
Only 2 third-down conversions last week in Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Harris loads it up, throws it upfield, throws it out of the reach of his intended receiver at the 28-yard line, and Dodge City will have to punt.
Boy, and he paid the price when he unloaded that ball because right in his grill was Jalen Pinckney.
So with the line of scrimmage inside the 15-yard line, Blue Dragons have a pretty good chance to get another possession beginning in the Dodge City half of the field. Couple of Dragons back in anticipation of the punt by Devontae Guillory. He's a yard deep in the end zone as he awaits the snap from center. Has a big leg and angles the punt to the right side, and the Dragons will let it roll. And it rolls down to the 36-yard line. That is where Hutchinson will start. 2 players out there to field the punt for the Blue Dragons. It was kind of low. Despite that, nobody made a play on the ball. But it, fortunately for Hutchinson, didn't roll very far after it lit.
Well, with the catastrophes we saw, and that's plural, that we saw last week, those 3 punts that get muffed and go back to the other team, that's the correct decision for Irwin to back away because he saw the Conquistador defender closer to it when it bounced. Tinsley was also back there with Irwin trying to make a decision on that return.
Shucker hands off to Des Jackson. Jackson finds a little bit of hole. He doesn't need much of one. That was a play well blocked, and it'll give Jackson another 6. He's already approaching 100 yards rushing in the first quarter.
Well blocked, and then he did a little bit of that on his own. Of course, the best block he takes for 81 yards and the touchdown. That one, most runners could have probably been stopped after a 2-yard gain, and he makes even more out of it.
Dragons look at 2nd down and 4 at their own 41-yard line, leading 14-0. One touchdown by the offense, one by the defense. And there goes Jackson. Jackson battling to get to the yard to gain marker. Looks to be about a half-yard shy. It will be a 3rd down for Hutchinson.
This is where we mentioned Dodge City struggled last week. Well, the Blue Dragons did too at Coffeyville. Just converted 2 times on 3rd down opportunities.
3rd and a little bit less than a yard. And they go with the shotgun. Direct snap. And the Dragons will pick up, or not the shotgun, but the Wildcat, and will pick up the 1st down.
Did you see who that was in the Power Dragon? Arian Strong taking that snap and getting the 1st down.
Yep. First time we've seen that in quite some time. So it is a 1st down at the 46-yard line. And I think maybe that's the first time all year we've seen that. Now, Shucker gets a high snap, takes a handoff, delivers it to the left side. Jagway trying to make people miss, doing a pretty good job of that. But all he can do is get back to the line of scrimmage. That ball was almost thrown backwards. Dodge City had it well played. Forced Jagway into the middle of the field and knocks him down for a loss of a yard.
And I would contend that, that's a good thing he catches that ball, because really that could be slated down as a run. It was backward, and if he misses that, most likely it'll bounce out of bounds. But on a ball like that, if it stays in bounds, it's fair game.
2nd down, 11. Shucker. And now flag flies as the official comes running in, and it's going to be an illegal procedure call on the Blue Dragons. So it will be 2nd down and 16.
Makes you wonder if there's a play there. Yeah, it makes you wonder if it was designed for McLean. Sometimes those guys get a little bit antsy when they know the ball might be coming their way.
So it is 2nd down, now backed up to the Hutchinson 40-yard line. Got to get to the 44.
That'll take us to the end of the first.
And we'll find out what the Dragons choose to do with it, because 1 is in the books now. And after the first period from Dodge City, Hutchinson 14, Dodge City nothing. 2nd quarter in a minute.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. We understand that when you're looking for a new vehicle, there are many options and it can get overwhelming. We're here to help you through that process. We can find the vehicle to fit your needs and your budgets. Right now, Toyota's offering unheard of rebates. On a brand new Tacomas, $1,500 rebates. Also on 4Runners, $1,500 rebates. And get this, you can get a brand new Sienna with $3,500 in rebates. These are huge rebates for Toyota. Come out and see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Needing repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Riccar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
2nd down, 16 for the Dragons, their own 40-yard line as we start period number 2. Hutchinson leading 14-0. Shucker back to throw, has all kinds of time, throws it downfield and overthrows his intended receiver. Khalil McLean looking pleadingly at the official for a call. That was just simply good coverage. Would have taken a perfect pass, and it was not one.
I think that answers our question as to where that last play was going and why McLean had that quick jump. And you're right, he's running down the hash mark. If that ball maybe even is thrown a little bit inside, you get it away from the defender, but nowhere near where McLean could get to it.
So it is third down and a lot. McLean in motion across the formation, sets up on the right side. Mason Shucker takes the snap. He rolls to his left, looking to throw downfield, and throws it well out of bounds.
Yeah, just looking to get rid of that one. He was trying to find Jalen Irwin, and he was so well covered, he decided wisely just to throw it away.
So it is fourth down for Hutchinson, and the Dragons will again punt the football away. For a game in which Hutchinson has 130 yards of offense, I'd have to say Dodge City hadn't played all that well. Most of that came on that one play, that 81-yard run by Des Jackson. Punts off, and it is going to be a beauty. My goodness. Rolling down to the one. Holy cow, what a wonderful punt by Garcia. Or Matt Jones. 59 yards on the punt. You hesitate. Garcia is a good punter, but he's primarily a field goal kicker. Matt Jones has been terrific all year long.
16th time now he has pinned opponents deep in their own territory.
Wow. That was beautiful. And that was a situation where Dodge City made a decision not to try to field it, and it cost them about 15 yards on the roll. Might be right. Steve Carpenter saying he's looking up in the sun. It is a bright afternoon. Dodge City has to be careful. They want to throw it out of the end zone. They throw long, and they got a receiver out there, and a catch is made at the 38-yard line, but just out of bounds. What a gamble. Pretty well thrown ball, just simply a little too far left. Daquan Bailey Brown pulled it in, but he didn't get a foot down in bounds.
And guess who he was working against? It was, again, Ronald Williams. So he has one good play to his credit, but two more where he could have potentially been severely beaten.
So, once again, Dodge City will have a go at it from its own 1-yard line. The Blue Dragons have a 99-yard touchdown drive to their credit. Des Jackson going the final 81. Dodge will run it, and with the usual results, very little gain. It'll be third down and quite a lot. Third down and 9.
Watkins lucky to get out of the end zone that time, especially with Tank Morgan bearing down on him.
And Dodge City looks like they're going to take perhaps a timeout for an injured player. And while they tend to the injured Conquistador, we'll take a break.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Andy, down on the sidelines, what are you seeing that you like, and what are you seeing that you don't like?
Well, the timeout right now is because of Kalik Washington. He's been struggling with the last couple of plays of getting up and getting back into formation. But I really do like the defensive backfield of the Conquistadors. They are playing very head up against the Blue Dragon receivers. And on the other hand, the Conquistador receivers are actually having opportunities to get behind the Blue Dragon defenders.
Scoreboard indicating Hutchinson with a 14-0 lead, a touchdown offensively and a touchdown defensively.
Another score in the conference of note right now, at least in the second quarter. Highland is on top of Garden City, 10-6.
It's a Highland team that's dangerous. They've played a lot of people tough, and they are taking a good long while to tend to the injured Conquistador. Training crew coming in from the sideline with more help. Let's take another break for these friends of Hutchinson Community College.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
The injured conquistador walking very slowly off the field. He got up after that play was over and then just kind of keeled over. I'm not too sure that he didn't take a pretty good pop in the head area. He is a little bit, now he is a lot woozy as they walk him to the sideline.
And I think the first thing you look for is where's the helmet, and you can see they have definitely taken it away from him.
All right, so it is a third down for Dodge City. The ball at the Conquistador 2-yard line. 14 minutes to play in the first half. And the Blue Dragon defense doing its thing. And you
I can see the defense get one more stop here.
Yeah. You just kind of get the feeling that Dodge City's not going to be able to get it done on the ground. So we're going to see Drew Harris probably try to throw it again out of his end zone. He's got 3 wideouts to the right side. That seems to be one of the favorite offensive sets for Coach Gary Thomas, who's in his 6th year at Dodge. It will be a pass play, thrown upfield, and an open receiver, and the catch is made at the 35-yard line. And Dodge City bailed out as once again they attack the left side, and that is a huge gainer from the 2-yard line out to, let's see where they put it down, out to the 47. It's a 45-yard pickup.
Just a straight 9 release route there for Daquan Bailey-Brown, and it's again against Ronald Williams. All he did was sprint straight down the field, and right out of the gate, he had Williams beat down around the 5-yard line.
So Dodge City out of trouble. Throw long again. And another catch against that Dragon secondary. This one down inside the 20-yard line. Delivered right on target to Kobe Perry. Or excuse me, delivered, I think, was that 14 or 4? That was... It is a Dodge City timeout, and the Blue Dragons secondary staggered by consecutive pass completions. We're going to take a break as Dodge City has taken a timeout.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Wow, how quickly a game can turn around, guys. It was 3rd and long at the 2, and now all of a sudden Dodge City inside the Hutchinson 20. And the Blue Dragon secondary has given up a lot of long pass plays, and a couple of them here in succession.
It's just what Drew Harris needed coming off his season worst last week. Only completed 5 passes for 72 yards. Here he is with just these passes on this drive, able to surpass his doings from last week.
Now the Dragon defense will have to do its thing. Dodge City showing a willingness to throw against the Dragon secondary. Now that Hutchinson secondary on the season have done a lot of good things. 14 interceptions by the Dragon secondary, but they're right now being lit up by Dodge City, even though Hutchinson leads the game 14-0.
And those 14 interceptions good for 4th best in the nation. And you notice now, not only is it that left side where the Conquistadors have exposed Williams, they've now exposed Clemens on the right side.
Dodge City ready to go back to work. Drew Harris wants to throw, throws left, catch is momentarily in the hands of the intended receiver at the 2-yard line, but not able to hang on was Terrell Warner. So it will be 2nd down and 10 at the 17 of the Blue Dragons, who have the lead at the moment with 13 minutes to go, 14-0.
That's that classic back shoulder throw you hear so much about because Clemens had him covered over the top. So Harris just leaves it short and back down by the sideline. They just missed.
Dodge City not able to get anything going with the running game so far, but they have produced with the passing game. And this will be another pass play. And broken up down on the goal line, but a flag comes in. That's going to be pass interference on the Blue Dragons.
Clemens just got there a little bit early, and if he waits one more second, he's able to be there just in time, but they're just a smidgen early, came through the back of Warner.
And so Dodge City will be the beneficiary of the penalty on the Dragons. And the Dodge City crowd starting to get a little bit excited. This is the first serious scoring threat by the Conquistadors. And, oh, they changed their mind. They say there's no foul on the play. So it's just an incomplete pass. Official was starting to walk it off.
Yeah, when you throw a flag like that, you throw it because you actually saw something. So in that situation, he let his partner, the back judge, talk him out of that call.
Blue Dragon faithful, and there are a few of them across the way, happy with that call. And now it's 3rd down and 10 at the 17. Drew Harris looks over toward the sideline at Coach Thomas. Probably be another pass play. Nope, he's going to run it, takes it to the side, breaks to the outside, and he is upended at the 14-yard line. Blue Dragon Josh Relaford over to make the play.
Relaford was there, and good job by Demarie Givens reading that as well as they collapsed on him together.
And now it is 4th down and 7, trailing by 14. Do you send the field goal team out? This is a chip shot.
And Thomas will.
Yep.
Yeah, right before that play, I could hear Rhodes yelling out to Montgomery, watch the quarterback run.
Devontae Guillory on the season, 12 out of 15 on field goals. He's kicked one from 50. This one will be blocked by the Blue Dragons, and it goes into the end zone. It would have been a 30-yard field goal. Dragons turn it away. Dragon defense gets there. And I don't think that Guillory got all of that. It didn't get high very quickly at all.
It was not high enough to be out of reach of Jaden Cunningham, that's for sure. At just 6'1", able to knock that down at the line of scrimmage.
So the Blue Dragons continue to lead 14-0, 12:15 to go. And the Dragon offense comes back out. Dodge City at least succeeded in flipping the football field. They were backed up to their 1-yard line. Now the Dragons have it, and they're not exactly in terrible field position, but they're 80 yards away as they start at the Hutch 20. Shucker hands off. Jackson takes it to the right side. Jackson at the 20-yard line, grab from behind at the 24.
That's speed against speed. Desmond Jackson typically able to make it to the sideline, but Kobe Perry, we talked about, leads this Conquistador defense in tackling, not only overall tackles, but solo tackles, able to get there.
There is so much talent in this league. Coach Rhodes telling me earlier in the year he thinks there's probably 400 kids playing in this league that will at one point or another sign a Division I letter of intent. Now that's this year and next year. The Dragons give it to Jackson, and Jackson breaks free momentarily on the left side, and he's all the way out to the 36-yard line. Jackson well over 100 yards rushing in the first half. Dragons move the chains at the 36. Now splitting wide to the right side for the Dragons, Jalen Irwin. Slot on that side. Tight end on the left side. Des Jackson on the left hip of quarterback Mason Shucker, who takes the snap, wants to throw, throws it long, and it is Incomplete at the 25-yard line. Looking to Irwin, pretty well covered by the Dodge City secondary.
Darshawn Williams was out there, but again, if that pass is more to the inside, instead of trailing out past the numbers and toward the sideline, Irwin has a better chance of coming down with that ball.
Second down, 10 for Hutchinson. Dragons at their own 36-yard line with a 2-touchdown advantage. Last we checked, Garden City was down in their game this afternoon. Shucker delivers it to Leroy Watson, and Watson makes the catch but gets no yardage. So it'll be third down and 10 for the Blue Dragons.
New route that time for Leroy Watkins, the fourth. Typically you see him on those play action passes streaking down the hash mark. Interesting for the first time this year to see him catch a ball in or behind the line of scrimmage.
Dragons with 2 wideouts to each side. Need 10 on third down at their own 36-yard line. Shucker will throw, floats it out, and doesn't come very close. Tried to get it to Khalil McLean, and McLean had absolutely no chance to make a play on that ball.
Just the same song, different verse. If he puts that ball in the area that McLean is originally running to, instead of trying to lead him out toward the sideline and outside of the numbers, he has a better chance of completing that ball. Dragons now 2 of 5 on third down.
And for the third game in a row, Mason, Shucker having trouble getting the ball where he wants it. And now Dodge City will take a timeout. So will we. 10:16 to play in the first half. Hutchinson 14-0. Let's take a break.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Welcome back to Dodge City. Blue Dragons with 10 minutes and 16 seconds left before the break, up 14-0. Just missing. I say just missing, but it missed by a long shot. A third down conversion attempt. And like you mentioned going into the break, Mason Shucker has just not been accurate. Really, you could go back to last week. You could go a couple of weeks before that. He hasn't had a touchdown pass since September 29th against Butler.
Kadarius Satterwhite awaits the Hutchinson punt at his 24-yard line. Matt Jones will try to bang the Dragons out of trouble. He got off a 59-yarder. This is a pretty punt, but it's going to be returned by Satterwhite, who caught it in traffic and basically runs in place at the 26-yard line. That's where they'll spot it. Good kick coverage by the Blue Dragons. So Dodge City has the ball back. The Conquistadors have not dented the scoring column. Randy, what's the feeling down on the sideline?
I'm still not getting a whole lot of excitement here. At times there is, especially after the play by Monty Montgomery. The defense was really, really fired up. But overall, it's just been kind of a down moment right here.
Again, Randy on the sideline, thanks to our friends at Jackson Meat. All right, let's see what Dodge City can do. Their attack has been almost exclusively the passing game. And they quickly throw it out to the left side. Dragons come up and make a play, and this play will go for a very, very short gain. Almost threw it backwards, but it is caught by the Conquistadors' Miles Henderson, and he's able to pick up 2.
That's one thing where you can keep the defense honest to say, okay, not only are we going to throw deep, you're going to have to cover us when we throw right here on the line of scrimmage. Just be ready for Dodge City to go deep once again soon. They're kind of bailed right now, at least, on the run game.
A lot of teams have done that against Hutchinson. It has just been pretty unproductive to try to run the football. Second down and 8 at the 29-yard line. Harris this time throws left, and it's incomplete. Dragons coming up, putting a lot of pressure on the receiver, and he just simply couldn't hang on. That was Tyrese Ritchie he heard footsteps coming.
I was going to tell you that hearing footsteps, that's a real thing. And he did. He heard the footsteps of Ronald Williams coming.
Yeah, that had to sound like a stampede. So it is a 3rd down and 8 at the 29-yard line. This has settled into much the same kind of game we saw last week, where the Dragons were in control all night long, but never really got the offense in the gear they were looking for. Dodge City with time, and now it runs out of time. Nice pressure by the Blue Dragons, and quarterback Drew Harris dumped in the backfield. That is a heck of a play by Blue Dragon Clarence Hicks.
That's why 50% of his tackles this season have been tackles for loss.
He is so strong. Just reached out that paw and cut him on the shoulder, and he couldn't stay upright.
You're not kidding. There's so much talk in the NFL about laying quarterbacks down on a pillow and putting a blanket over them to make sure you don't rough them. And here, that's exactly what he did. Instead of full body weight, just 2 hands and pulled Harris backward.
All right, let's see if the Dragons can field this punt. That has been a continuing problem for the Dragons. Guillory gets off a high punt. And it is fielded at the 38-yard line and returned quickly to the 50, to the 45-yard line of Dodge City. The Dragons that time had Mitchell Tinsley back there, and not only fielded the punt, did a nice job with the return.
Made his decision and made it quickly. That's the best decision probably on a punt return, one that was actually returned, that we've seen in a few weeks.
So Hutchinson leading 14-0, trying to make it 21 as they start at the 45 of Dodge.
Before that return, Tinsley had 3 punt returns for -1.
All right, let's see if the Dragons go back to the running game. It's been pretty productive. Now they're going to stick with the passing game, and they throw it underneath right in the middle of the field. And Khalil McLean makes the catch and takes it upfield for a first down at the 33. So right over the middle. And so the Dragons move the chains. Clock working down toward the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Shucker claps his hands. Hands off, and boy, there is a heck of a hit. Blue Dragon running back got dumped. Monte Ellis got a couple of yards and then paid the price.
Of course, he's known for his big game against RPA, but this Conquistador defense much different than RPA. Jermel Brandon, 6 foot 220, able just to pick him up and dump him.
So it is a 2nd down and 8 at the 31-yard line. Again, Hutchinson over Dodge at this point in the contest, 14-0. Shucker wants to throw, pumps a couple of times, delivers it on target at the 25-yard line. Caught there by Jalik Jagway. It is a couple of yards shy of a first down. Jagway made the catch, couldn't do anything after the reception. Hutchinson probably in 4-down territory. Will have a 3rd and 2.
I like the coaching change as far as routes go. Sit guys down over the middle, make it an easier pitch and catch to try and get Shucker back into rhythm.
Des Jackson back there at the running back. That's a potential problem for Dodge City. And he'll get his chance, hesitates, puts his head down, battles and battles. I don't know whether he got there or not.
They're going to mark him just a little bit short.
So it is 4th down and decision time for Hutchinson. Field goal would be a long one, but within the range of Sebastian Garcia. Should the Dragons choose to go that way, but needing only a yard, they'll go for it.
May see them try to draw the Conquistadors offside, too.
4th down. Dragons need just a little bit less than a yard. Play clock at 4. Hutchinson obviously going to take a timeout. So we will, too. Again, the relevant numbers, 6 minutes to play in the first half, 14-0 Hutchinson over Dodge City. We're coming right back.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Well, it was an 81-yard touchdown run by Desmond Jackson to open up the scoring here in Dodge City, followed up by a strip 6 from Monty Montgomery. Both of those guys reigning players of the week for offense and defense, respectively. Blue Dragons up 14-0, decision time.
Need one at the at the Dodge City 24-yard line. In field goal range, but not interested. Des Jackson is the running back. Dodge City has to anticipate that Jackson's going to get the carry. And he will. And he breaks off to the side. Open downfield, easy jaunt into the end zone. Des Jackson again. Desmond Jackson really putting some serious hurt on Dodge City's Conquistadors. The Dragons needed one. Jackson got 24. And Hutchinson leads it 20-0. With the extra point up and coming for Sebastian Garcia. He's missed only one all season long. And he doesn't miss this one. Hutchinson 21, Dodge City nothing. 5:56 left in the first half, and the Conquistadors have now been outscored 79-0 over the last game and a half.
Third multi-touchdown game for Desmond Jackson.
Let's take a break.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Welcome back to Dodge City. Blue Dragons leading it here after another Desmond Jackson touchdown run, 21-0. In other parts of Jayhawk country, 21-17. Garden City now back on top of Highland 7 minutes before half there.
Dragon kickoff is deep. Bounces in the end zone. Will not be brought out. Dodge City will start at the 25-yard line. Hutchinson, with its defense doing its normal thing, and its offense producing a couple of scores and defense adding another one, 21-0. Blue Dragons over Dodge City. Dragons won't play next Saturday. We will be, when I talk about we, we're talking about Eagle Radio Sports. We'll be with Hutchinson High School as the Salthawks face a tremendous challenge as they go to Topeka High on Friday night in round one of the playoffs. It's a Topeka High team that is 7-1, probably should be 8-0. Lost a game on a very debatable officiating call. Dodge City trying to get the running game going and just not getting the job done. The Conquistadors have completed some long passes, but one consistent theme throughout this game is every time they've given it to Anthony Watkins, the Dragons have been waiting.
That's the first time the Conquistadors in 2 drives have handed the ball off to Watkins.
Might have gotten a couple on the first down carry, second down and 8. Harris wants to run, pitches it to Watkins, and Watkins is grabbed. Quarterback started to the right, just flipped it to Watkins. I'm not sure whether it was forward or backwards. Might have been a pass play. At any rate, the result is a gain of just 1.
Caleb Bryce did a good job of holding that block on the outside to make sure the runner could not get back outside the boundary. Justin Harris able to come back and clean it up.
Third down and 7. Drew Harris slows things down a little bit. Now he's ready. Play clock at 4. Trips left. Looks left, throws left, completes. Boom! Oh, what a hit. And what a job of catching the football. Now, the play goes for almost no gain, but how in the world could Kyle Jones hang on to that one? He got hit by a Mack truck going 70.
That's one where you get up and you're looking out your ear hole. Latavion Beaton, probably lucky he doesn't get an excessive celebration after that one, but boy, howdy, that was well deserved.
What a hit, and what a job by Kyle Jones of hanging on. It all goes for a gain of 2. If you're Kyle, you're saying, I don't think it was worth it. Punt time for Dodge City.
Close to it.
Go ahead, Randy.
Head-to-head contact, too, on that play, but luckily no call.
Punts off, kind of shanked off the side of the kicker's foot. And it's going to bounce backwards, and a big backwards bounce, and Hutchinson will get it at its own 44-yard line. That is a subpar punt by far for Devontae Guillory. So the Dragons with a chance to really make a statement already on top 21-0. 3:41 to go in the first half. Hutchinson with 2 timeouts left. Mason Shucker comes on to run the offense. Slot on the right side. Shucker looking left. Brings Tinsley in. Hands off, and Dragons Jackson tries to get what can, or nope, that wasn't Jackson. That was Monte Ellis, number 28 on the carry, and he gets a couple of yards. There is a big difference in terms of running ability between Des Jackson and just about all of the backs, maybe not only on the Hutchinson roster, but most of the backs in the league.
A lot of it comes down to vision. That time, Ellis just not reading the block set up by the pulling Jason Toussaint and runs right into the tackler.
And this time the Dragons give it right back to him. He keeps his head down low, and Ellis close to a first down, maybe a yard and a half shy at the 47 of Dodge City, 3rd down.
Part of it comes down to knowing the playbook. Remember when we saw Ellis so much against RPA, Coach said if he gets to know his playbook, gets to know his plays, he'll get more playing time. So he's probably still trying to figure some of that out.
Blue Dragons trying to keep momentum going their direction. They lead it 21-0. Shucker hands off, and straight ahead goes Ellis, breaks a tackle at the 35, at the 30, and down to the 25-yard line. Monte Ellis really well blocked by the left side of that offensive unit. So the Blue Dragons move it to the Dodge City 25-yard line. Ellis
One
saying,
step away from taking it to the house.
Yeah, no kidding. Monte Ellis saying, I can do some things for this team as well. Jackson, normally tight end, moves in, sets up right next to Mason Shucker. And Shucker hands off, and that is Monte again, and he'll get 3 to the 22-yard line. Dragons working on the clock. It's down to 1:40. Still plenty of time with 2 timeouts.
Welcome back, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson comes back in there. Dragons show us a couple of wideouts to the right, one to the left. Jackson on the right hip of quarterback Mason Shucker, who's taking his time. Wants to throw it. Throws it over the middle, and it is mishandled in the end zone. Had his man, not a bad throw at all. Cephas Smith simply couldn't come up with it right in the front end of the end zone.
Shucker had some options. He had Cephas Smith, who he went for, but also, again, that pass play we talk about where Leroy Watson, the 4th, comes out looking like he's blocking, and they fake that run, or at least he does. He came wide open, coming down the hash mark as well. So Shucker had a couple of places he could have gone with the ball that time that could have potentially been a touchdown.
3rd down and 7 at the 22 of Dodge City. Des Jackson, will he get a chance? He's already scored twice. Man in motion across the formation. Shucker wants to throw, fires it in, throws an interception. Picked off by Dodge City at the 2-yard line. and brought out to the 17-yard line. Nice play defensively by Dodge City's Darius Miller, his second interception of the season, and it's a big one because Dodge City cannot afford to fall any farther behind.
What's that whole thing about location, location, location? That's exactly what happened with Mason Shucker. Puts the ball in the wrong location. If he throws it farther to the outside or at least to the backside there of where Jalen Irwin has a chance at the ball, he's fine. Instead, he throws it closer to the defender where he's sitting and just waiting.
And what hurts, Hutchinson was in field goal range if they throw an incomplete pass there. So Dodge City gets it back, and 64 seconds left to work with, only one timeout. Look for the Conquistadors to try to test that Dragon secondary. Play action, ball thrown long, and it is going to be intercepted by the Blue Dragons at the 40-yard line. Brought back to the opposition 40 and to about the 30-yard line before being run out of bounds. That is the 15th interception of the season for the Blue Dragons, and that pickoff, Mr. Williams.
The first for Ronald Williams. You pick on a guy enough. We saw it early in the season when teams tried to pick on Kelvin Clemens. You pick on a guy enough, he's going to make you pay. And unfortunately for the Conquistadors, they give the Blue Dragons the ball back basically where they had it.
There's a flag on the play, but it was on Dodge City. So the Blue Dragons find themselves right back in scoring range at the Conquistador 28-yard line.
Just when you feel the momentum swing, like Dodge City's going to try to get something going, they do something that gives the ball right back and the momentum right back to the Blue Dragons.
Well, consecutive turnovers is what we witnessed there. Blue Dragons threw an interception. Dodge City reciprocated. Dragons fake the reverse. Instead give off, and they keep it in the middle of the field. And a pretty good gain on first down of about 5 for Desmond Jackson. Clock continuing to run. And now Hutchinson will stop it. 40 seconds remains in the first half as we take a break with Hutchinson on top of Dodge, 21-0.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
You are listening to Blue Dragon football on KHUT, Hutchinson's Country Station, Country 102.9, and of course KWBW, 1450 AM and 98.5 FM, where Hutchinson comes to talk.
Second down, a little bit better than 5 yards to go for the Blue Dragons at the 23 of Dodge City. If you're thinking field goal, it would be a 40-yard effort. And Hutchinson kicker Sebastian Garcia has kicked one from as far away as 48. But with Des Jackson in there at the running back position, I think he's probably going to get another carry or two.
Dragons will have to hurry now out of timeouts. Shucker is just 6 for 17 right now throwing the ball.
And they give it to Jackson, and he breaking tackles down inside the 15-yard line to the 13. The clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains, and now it resumes. Inside half a minute to play, and Shucker just simply downs it to freeze the clock at 28.2.
Great clock management, but now Shucker is 6 for 18.
And the Blue Dragons will have a second down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Time. If you want to run it here, you better get out of bounds or into the end zone. Time for several pass plays if that's what the Dragons choose to do. Dodge City showing blitz. Shucker throws to nobody in particular. Dodge City interception in the end zone. Terrible choice by Mason Shucker. Nobody even close. Second pick he has thrown. He is a frustrated quarterback. as he walks off the field. And these teams right now swapping turnovers faster than you can sell them at a bakery.
It was a role reversal, and you get to choose, since you're talking about a bakery, how you spell the word roll. But Jalen Irwin was the intended receiver, looked more like the defender. Leonard Younger ran the route better to the corner, able to pick off Shucker.
Wow. That was not pretty. Dragons have twice now turned the ball over when they were in, at the very least, field goal range. First down and 10, Dodge City, and I'm going to guess that maybe the Conquistadors are ready to be conservative and go in at halftime. But we'll see. Harris hands off, and the Dragons miss a couple of tackles. Pretty good job by Anthony Watkins to get free and get about 5 or 6 yards, but that is likely to be the last play of the first half. Official steps between a couple of unhappy Conquistadors, and time runs out. And the Blue Dragons at halftime with a nice lead, 21-0, but lots to talk about, particularly offensively. 21-zip Hutchinson as we take a 2-minute timeout.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
There's National This Month and National That Month. But for women, especially those over 40, this is the important month, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection is crucial, so please schedule a screening appointment soon, then a mammogram if advised by your doctor. All here at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson. It's our privilege to serve you.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Halftime at Dodge City, and the Blue Dragons in pretty much complete control as they lead Dodge City's Conquistadors 21-0. It could have been far worse for Dodge City as the Dragons made some pretty serious mistakes down in scoring country late in the half. A couple of interceptions thrown by Mason Shucker, who suffered through a first half in which he went 6 of 18 with 2 interceptions. His Dodge City counterpart, though, not much better. 6 out of 16, 1 interception. For the Blue Dragons, 3 scores in the first half, 2 by the offense, 1 by the defense. Des Jackson went 81 yards to cap a 99-yard scoring drive with 11:32 to go in the first quarter. The Dragons led 7-0. Then Monty Montgomery stripped the ball away, took it into the end zone from 20 yards out. That made it 14-0. Des Jackson got loose a little bit later in the game with about 6 minutes to go till halftime and scored from 24 yards away. This is the first half Medicine Shop game capsule. The Medicine Shop and your Medicare Part D checkup, well, they pretty much become synonymous at this time each year. If you're going to change your Medicare plan, the window is open now through the first week in December. You can save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on your yearly medicine bill by making an informed decision. The Medicine Shop makes it awfully easy for you. All you need to do is to bring your drug list to the Medicine Shop, And the friendly folks there will do the rest. They'll get the best plan for you. Another good reason to stop by the Medicine Shop at 14th and Main. Blue Dragons in that first half, 188 yards rushing, Dodge City just 24. The Dragon dominance on the ground continues to be pretty much absolute. Mason Shucker, we talked about his frustrations passing the football. 6 completions, good for just 55 yards. Dodge City's Drew Harris threw for 102. Total offense in the first half, Hutchinson 243 yards, Dodge City 126, just about a 2-1 margin. One thing that has been really nice in this game, there have been very few penalties. Each team with 2 penalties, total of 10 yards for Hutchinson, 12 yards for Dodge City. The game moving right along, Blue Dragons moving right along as they are seemingly en route to their 6th win in a row. A win that would protect their status at least in a tie for the top spot in the Jayhawk Conference. This has been the first half Medicine Shop game capsule. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll return with the rest of our halftime from Western Kansas.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
ARCAT is now part of a regional transportation partnership with Sedgwick County Transportation and Wichita Transit. We are working together to provide rides to Wichita and back on Tuesdays. Wichita Transit has fixed route and paratransit service available within the city. Round trip costs range between $19 and $27. Advanced registration with ARCAT is required. ARCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. Call 694-2913 for details.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
Love your smartphone, but not your current service provider? Or the idea of having to buy a new phone when you switch? Now you don't have to. You can bring your device to Nextech Wireless. Enjoy our high-speed 4G network, nationwide coverage, exceptional local customer service, plus your first 2 months will be absolutely free. You'll also enjoy monthly savings, including unlimited data for as low as $20 per month. Certain restrictions apply. Switch to Nextech Wireless, keep your current phone, and receive your first 2 months free.
You are listening to Blue Dragon Football on Country 102.9 and KWBW. That's 1450 AM and 98.5 FM. Thanks for being here at halftime. The Blue Dragons enjoying a 21-0 lead over the Conquistadors thanks to a couple of Desmond Jackson touchdown runs, one from 81 yards out and one on a 4th and 1 when he scampered in for 24 yards. Since then, Mason Shucker has managed to throw a couple of interceptions, and I welcome in Sports Information Director Steve Carpenter from Hutchinson Community College. They say it takes a big man to admit when you're wrong. So I want to bring something up. When Shucker clocked the ball late on that drive, explain to us why that is not an incompletion against him.
That is considered a team incompletion for the mere fact that it's what he's supposed to be doing. He is not intending to complete a pass. He is intending to stop the clock. Thus, the rules keepers of many years ago decided to make that a team incompletion, much like in victory formation when a quarterback takes a knee. It doesn't go against him because that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So you give that to the team, and those negative stats don't go against you personally, and that's the premise behind it.
So officially, Mason Shucker at halftime, 6 of 18 with 2 interceptions, thrown for just 55 yards. Shucker has not thrown a touchdown pass since September 29th at Butler. Steve, we know the Dragons here in football action up 21-0. How are things going in other sports for Hutchinson Community College today and over this last week?
Right now, we've got a doubleheader going on. Soccer playing a important game in terms of momentum for the postseason at what would be league champion Cloud County. If, by chance, Hutchinson holds on to win that game. And by the way, they did score a first-half goal. Braley Mater scored in the first half to make it 1-0 very early in the game. Usually, if Hutchinson scores in the first 5 minutes of the game, they're 8-0 this year, so that's a good sign for Hutchinson. But if Cloud County loses, Barton's going to jump up and defeat them for the league championship. Thus, with the postseason coming up on Thursday, Hutchinson has to travel to Johnson County. They win that game, they may be going to Great Bend instead of back to Concordia, because that's who they would play in the Region 6 semifinals. Then out of that, the two winners will travel to district. There will be no Region 6 women's soccer champion this year. The two semifinal winners automatically advance to a district tournament next week in Texas, or in 2 weeks in Texas.
How have those teams looked on the soccer pitch as far as the Dragons go and the teams they faced in the conference compared to years past? Have there been some surprise teams, and does Sammy Lane feel like he has as good of a soccer team as he's had out there before?
Well, the biggest thing for Sammy this year is he's had a lot of injuries to his frontline players. Megan Maslick, first game out this year, has a 4-goal game, and then a couple of games later, she's lost to a broken foot. She's just getting her, basically her sea legs back. She's been out for close to 7 weeks. Last week, the Blue Dragons lost Addie White, probably for the year because of an injury. They've just been beat up on the front line, and it just makes it a lot easier to defend the Dragons when you're missing half your arsenal. Ashley Venegas out of Odessa, Texas, has had a fantastic year, but now teams are starting to mark her up so much she's really having a hard time finding room to maneuver. So it's been tough for Hutchinson and Sammy Lane, but they also have the league's best defense. They're on a streak of 4 consecutive shutouts going into the Cloud game today, and we have a crew up there. Cloud's providing the video, but we've got we're tweeting and keeping updates up there for our fans. So if Hutchinson wins, that really kind of throws the Jayhawk West into a bit of disarray, because Cloud went to Great Bend on Wednesday and absolutely annihilated Barton to get the top, or to take over the top spot in the Jayhawk West. So it's going to be, that all plays out like it's going to go. Jayhawk West has 3 pretty potent teams going into the postseason.
Has Cloud really surprised some people? It seems like they've had a few games where they've looked a little bit different than what teams have expected from the Thunderbirds in the past.
Well, one thing, they are almost all international players, and I'm not going to harp on the pros and cons of having 20 to 25 international players. The rules are what they are, and you have to play the cards that you're dealt. But they've been a little bit up and down this year. They have been pushed by some teams they probably haven't been pushed by, but that's also a sign maybe they're not getting challenged enough. They were challenged by Barton and ultimately played probably their best game of the year. So now Hutchins may be catching him on a bit of a letdown after that game, which is very natural. And the Dragons are very motivated because they've lost now 3 consecutive times to Cloud County, and that is outside of Johnson and Butler early in the program's history. It's the only team that's ever won 3 in a row against the Blue Dragons.
It is Sports Information Director for Hutchinson Community College, Steve Carpenter. We'll talk to him some more about volleyball coming up after this. Stay here. We'll be back in 2 minutes where the Blue Dragons lead it 21-0 at halftime against the Conquistadors of Dodge City. We're back in Dodge in 2 minutes on Country 102.9 and KWBW.
Needing repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Dracar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady, at 663-4322, or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. We understand that when you're looking for a new vehicle, there are many options and it can get overwhelming. We're here to help you through that process. We can find the vehicle to fit your needs and your budgets. Right now, Toyota's offering unheard of rebates. On a brand new Tacomas, $1,500 rebates. Also on 4Runners, $1,500 rebates. And get this, you can get a brand new Sienna with $3,500 in rebates. These are huge rebates for Toyota. Come out and see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
At Strategic Financial Concepts, we understand if income taxes continue to go up as they have for almost the last 30 years as per the IRS, you may need to adjust your spending habits so you don't run out of money. How much money are you going to give to the government in the form of income taxes over your lifetime? Let's have a cup of coffee and a conversation. Call me, Jay Pitzer, at 96-007-49. Securities offered through the ON Equity Sales Company, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through ON Investment Management Company.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Blue Dragons lead it 21-0 at halftime here in Dodge City against the Conquistador. It's Darren Dunn alongside Sports Information Director at Hutch CC, Steve Carpenter. Steve, we just talked about some soccer. The volleyball team last year, of course, got into the national tournament, which was hosted at the Sports Arena. It will be there again. How much work does the Blue Dragon volleyball team have to do to get back to this year's dance?
The window is very small. They have a very small window of error to get back this year. It's still a team that's growing. You bring in so many freshmen, and you don't bring back any returning hitters. It's just a work in progress for Patrick Hall, but they've shown signs. I mean, they have wins over 3 nationally ranked teams this year. They play an extremely tough schedule with several ranked teams in it every year. But so they're very capable of doing it. Now they just have to be consistent and go do it. They came out here last night to Dodge City and played an awful first set. Dodge City played very well, but then the Blue Dragons found their game in the second set and wound up winning those decisively by allowing just 15, 16, and then 11 points in the fourth set. So a team very capable of getting it done. It's just a matter of they have two matches left. One against Barton and Great Bend on Monday, and they will have a sophomore night Wednesday against Independence. Win in either of those two, and they clinch a home playoff spot for the opening round of Region 6. But the Region 6 will most likely be in Liberal once again this year. But the Dragons have a history of going out there and winning in the postseason, so we'll see how it plays out.
Not impossible, but a lot of work to do for the volleyball team. Really quickly, we shouldn't overlook how well these cross-country teams have been doing for the Blue Dragons.
Hey, Justin Riggs' teams are doing really well. The guys' rankings are so perplexing. Hutchinson wins its third meet in a row and drops 5 spots in the national rankings. Finishes second last week and then moves up 2. Figure that one out. The women are ranked number 7 in the country. The guys are ranked number 8 in the country. They go into Region 6 next Saturday down at Winfield. And this is going to be one of the most competitive Region 6 meets you'll ever see. There are so many ranked teams and so many top-notch runners just in Region 6. It is going to – I wish I could go down there and watch it. We've got the state volleyball tournaments at the Sports Arena next weekend. But if you really want to watch a competitive cross-country race, go to Winfield next Saturday morning for what is sure to be 2 incredibly intense races. Then you have to wait around and see for the team title. So it's going to be a fun weekend for Justin Riggs' team. And then, they'll stay in the state, come out to Garden City for nationals on the second Saturday in November. So they have a lot to look forward to as well.
It is Steve Carpenter, Sports Information Director with Hutchinson Community College. Steve, as always, thanks for all you do, and thanks for joining me here on the Halftime Show.
Glad to do it, Darren. Thanks a lot.
It is the Blue Dragons at halftime, leading it 21-0 in other Jayhawk football action. The Scotties now trail Garden City at halftime. That score is 28-17, a game in which Highland had a lead back at 10-6. Here again in Dodge City, it is 21-0. Blue Dragons running behind Desmond Jackson. 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. That included an 81-yard romp and, of course, a 24-yard score when the Blue Dragons had it on 4th and 1. The second half of action with Rusty Hillstan. Randy McKay joining me is coming up in 2 minutes on Country 102.9 and KWBW.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
It is a 21-0 football game as we get ready for the start of the second half. Randy, any more enthusiasm down on the sideline right now?
Well, there is just a little bit, but, it's still kind of down. They're still thinking, well, we got this, let's get going.
And again, Randy down on the sideline replacing Glenn Grunwald on this Saturday afternoon. Glenn otherwise occupied in Hutchinson. Randy filling in. We're happy to have him. Dragons kick off to start the second half. Line drive kickoff, fielded a yard deep in the end zone by Dodge City. Oh, what a hit! Dodge City decided to bring it out, and my goodness, what a jolt at the 17-yard line. Nothing dirty about it, but wow.
Brad D, normally a running back for this team. Haven't seen him much in the backfield, making an impact there on special teams.
A heck of an impact.
He likes to go by Brad, but that's the kind of hit that makes you say his full name, Bradley D.
Making an impression. He made an indentation. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I felt that clear over here on the sideline.
All right, Dodge City comes out. They have a lot of work to do. They were outscored in Iowa last week 58-7. Hutchinson 21-0. At halftime, Dodge City goes to the run, takes it to the outside, and the Dragons are equal to the task. No gain on the play. With one or two exceptions, Anthony Watkins just hasn't been able to get the Dodge City running game going at all. One constant for the Dragons all season long has been good defensive play. In fact, the defense has gotten better and better and better every week long. The Dragon offense, not so much. But Hutchinson's still comfortable with a 3-touchdown edge as we start half number 2. And Dodge City goes to the run, and the Dragons string it out this time to the right side, and a couple more, maybe 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Dodge City after 2 carries by Anthony Watkins to open the second half. What a nice day it would be for a cookout. Hope you stopped by Jackson Meat and picked up your cookout supplies. I think they close at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, but one of Hutchinson's really outstanding businesses. And there's a flag on 3rd down
It'll be a false start on Ashton Jones.
So it will be a 3rd down and 10 for Dodge City. Really would love to see the Hutchinson offense get going here in the second half. Dragons won't play again until Garden City, and that offense will have to be perking to beat Garden City in 2 weeks.
When you look at the statistical categories for the Blue Dragons, all the ones they lead in the conference, they're second behind many of them to Garden City.
3rd down a lot. Ball thrown out in the left side. It is incomplete. And the Dragon defense comes out and does what it does. 3 and out. Dodge City will punt the football away. And we'll see if the Dragon offense, particularly the passing game, which over the course of the last 2.5 games, averaging about a 90-yard per game clip. We'll see if it can get on track. Dragons have Jalen Irwin back in anticipation of the punt. He awaits at his 40-yard line. And Devontae Guillory stands back at his 2. Line of scrimmage is the 17. Punt is off. It's a pretty one. It's a beautiful punt. Irwin signals for and makes a fair catch at the 33-yard line of the Dragons. They actually put it down closer to the 34, so we'll put it at that spot as well. Dragon offense with its first chance of the second half. Quarterback continues to be Mason Shucker. That has been a decision by Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes and his staff. Dragons haven't really wavered. Arrington played a little bit. Nolan Arrington played quite a little bit in the game against Resolution Prep. But in the meaningful contests, it's been Shucker. But he has struggled here today. Gives to Jackson. That's usually a pretty good formula for success. But this time Jackson can't find a hole and gains maybe 1. Just underway in the 3rd quarter, Hutchinson leading by a score of 21-0. Dodge City, you'd have to say, has played pretty well defensively. Dragons have one of their 3 touchdowns a result of an outstanding strip on defense by Monty Montgomery. Took it in for a touchdown. Dragons go back to the run, and Jackson can't find any space and gets a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Now Dodge City will put in some pass protection personnel. And we'll see what Hutchinson has decided to do. Obvious passing situation. Shucker has had a lot of trouble throwing downfield. 6 completions in the first half, 2 interceptions in 18 tries. Play action, steps back, loads it up, throws. Open receiver at the 45-yard line, and Hutchinson in business as Khalil McLean hauls it in and takes it to the 33-yard line. That one well thrown.
Well, Satterwhite was out of position defensively. First of all, he was on the wrong side of the formation, ran over to cover McLean late, and he had him in man-to-man coverage, but he stopped as if he was in zone coverage, and that allowed McLean to be wide open down the sideline.
So it is 1st down for Hutchinson at the 33 of Dodge City. Shucker sends McLean in motion and gives to Jackson, and Jackson pounds forward for 2 to the 31-yard line. Dragons with a nice lead in this game. Would like for this second half to be a rapidly played half. They like to keep the clock moving. Trust that defense to get the job done. Offense would like to be productive, to have something positive to build on with Garden City awaiting 2 weeks down the road. They give it to McLean. McLean gets to the edge. He gets close to a 1st down before he steps out of bounds right near the yard to gain marker.
What a pancake block on the outside by Jackson. He shows you what he can do with his legs when he has the ball. How about the power to pancake block Kobe Perry, who he said leads this Conquistador team in tackles.
It is enough for a 1st down, and Hutchinson finds itself inside the 25. This is the 3rd time in the last 3 possessions Hutchinson has been here. Dragons need to come away with some points this time. Tinsley goes in motion left to right. Ball thrown over the middle. Irwin Touchdown, Jalen Irwin. Beautifully thrown ball from Mason Shucker. And the Blue Dragons strike quickly here in the third quarter and lead 27-0.
If ever there was a confidence builder for Shucker, that'd be it. His first touchdown pass since Butler on September 29th.
That one was pretty. It happened right in front of Randy McClain. Or Randy McKay, I should say.
Yeah, and it was just caught right in stride. Just perfect throw.
And flags tossed on the extra point try, which doesn't even get as far as a snap. Hutchinson kicker Sebastian Garcia has made 3 of 3, which makes him 26 of 27 on the season. False start, so the Dragons will have to kick this from a little bit farther back, which won't be a problem for Garcia, one would think. He's made 8 out of 11 field goals, one as long as 48 yards. Garden City winning over Highland last time we checked, 28-17. Garden City and Hutchinson tied for the top spot in the Jayhawk Conference with collision Saturday a couple weeks away. The extra point is up, and the extra point is good. Hutchinson 28, Dodge City nothing. We'll return with the kickoff in half a minute.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
Well, the Blue Dragon offense comes out at the halftime break. Looks good. Touchdown strike, Jalen Irwin. And now the Dragons with a 4-touchdown advantage. The kickoff will again float down in the end zone. Dodge City will again bring it out, and this time it might pay. A little bit better return out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. It was Justin Underwood that took it about a yard deep, a 28-yard kick return. And Dodge City will start right there. And if the Conquistadors are to be a part of this game, and so far they really have not been, it's got to start pretty quickly. Gary Thomas's Conquistadors have played a lot of folks pretty tough here at home, but so far, not the Blue Dragons. Dodge City, with a loss this afternoon, would fall to 3-6. A win for the Blue Dragons would stretch their record out to 8-1, with the only blemish a 9-point loss to Iowa Western, currently the number 2 ranked team in the country. Excuse me, the number 3 ranked team as I check the standings. Dodge City took a timeout prior to the snap. That gives us an opportunity to hear from these friends of Hutchinson Community College. Back to Western Kansas in half a minute.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name-brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
We talked about Dodge City playing folks pretty tough here at home. Dodge City lost to Independence by 18, lost to Butler in overtime here. Pounded Gordon's Academy of Fine Arts and Sport, as you would expect. Then won over Ellsworth, Iowa on this field 34-30. Beat Coffeyville here 22-21. So this Dragon margin right now, 28-0. Indicative of the most dominating performance by a team against Dodge City on the turf of Memorial Stadium this year.
Yeah, typically the Conquistadors scoring 10 more points at home than they do on the road.
Back to the passing attack. And a ball thrown out to the left side and hauled in. Might be a first down, might be just short of the first down marker. They're going to say just short. Or they're going to say
pass.
Incomplete at the last minute. So it'll be second down and 10. Action there taking place right in front of the Blue Dragon bench.
By the way, Highland just got the ball back, down only 4 points now to Garden. It's 28-24.
We'll keep posted on that one. Garden City ranked high in the national rankings. Unbeaten on the season. Tied with Hutchinson for the top spot in the league. Dodge City flings it out to the left side, and it's just simply dropped. Flags fly. I don't know what that was for. A ball right in the hands of Eugene Minter. He simply dropped it. Dragon defender wasn't very close, but a flag came out quickly. Official saw something that I did not see.
Yeah, it's almost in that area of a defensive hold on the passing route down the field.
10.5 minutes remain in the third quarter. Again, the Blue Dragons will be off next Saturday. Have a bye week before the...
Foul for ineligible downfield. The pass is behind the line of scrimmage. Third down.
They thought they'd spotted a lineman downfield too far, but the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. You perhaps heard the explanation. So it is no foul, and it's third down and 10. Well, right now the Conquistadors' body language is not the greatest. They have just not been able to get much going. Almost draw Hutchinson offside, and Hutchinson pointing at Dodge City and said that ought to be a false start, and the official agrees.
Dodge City finally goes to a different back. They bring in Justin Terriot. We've seen Anthony Watkins all afternoon long, and he gets called for the flag.
Now, Terriot has 300 yards rushing on the season. Anthony Watkins almost double that. They're probably not going to run it on third down and 15 at their own 24-yard line.
Double that for a big reason. 60 more carries on the year for Watkins than any other back on this Conquistador team.
Back to the air they go, and the ball thrown over the middle is intercepted, and this will be a pick six for the Blue Dragon. Second defensive touchdown of the game for Monty Montgomery. Third in the last two games. How about number 10 of the Blue Dragons?
He is really making a case for not only Jayhawk Defensive Player of the Week, but maybe even National Player of the Week honors after this showing this afternoon, and there's still more to play.
He made that pick out in the flat, and he just kind of looked at the defense because there wasn't anybody that had even the slightest chance to make a play on that pick six. And the Blue Dragon lead is 34-0. Dodge City has been outscored 92-7 over the last game and three quarters. Sebastian Garcia to tack on the extra point.
They didn't get the snap off in time.
So he'll have to do it from 5 yards farther back, which has not been a problem. This Hutchinson defense, I've seen a lot of good defenses here. After all, Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes, defensive-minded. He was an outstanding defensive player when he played at Hutchinson Community College. He's had some terrific defenses, but I don't think any of them as good as this one.
Well, and for guys to stand out like Monty Montgomery has done, and not only his ability to get to the football and make big plays as far as tackles go, but to turn them into points is something we haven't seen in a while.
Low snap, but the kick is up, and it is good. The Blue Dragon lead 35-0. We still have better than 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Hutchinson putting it on Dodge City. Let's take a break.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, Hutchinson will kick off after scoring its second touchdown in the first 4 minutes and 42 seconds of the third quarter. Line drive kick, returnable, bounces at the 10, fielded on the run, and brought upfield with a full head of steam all the way out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Explosive return for the Conquistadors. But right now, Dodge City with a monstrous hill to climb and only 25 minutes in which to do it. It's got to look like Everest did to Hillary. Again, Dragons off next Saturday. We will have high school football on Friday night. What a task for the Saltdogs. They'll go up against one of the top football teams in 6A as they go to Topeka High in round one of the playoffs. Dodge City goes back to traditional running back Anthony Watkins, and Watkins on the carry. Dodge City's averaging less than 2 yards a game. Most of those carries have been by Anthony Watkins, and they're still averaging less than 2 because Anthony got only 1. Second down 9 at the 37-yard line.
Watkins today being held a full yard below his normal average. This is Blue Dragon football on KHUT, Hutchinson's Country Station, Country 102.9, and where Hutchinson comes to talk, KWBW 1450 AM and 98.5 FM.
Low snap, handled nicely by the Dodge City quarterback, throws it over the middle, and it is up in the air. Dragons off the deflection, almost got another pick, but it falls to the turf, incomplete. Randy, have you seen a better defense at Hutchinson since you've been in town?
I tell you what, this overall, the front line and the linebacker core, definitely the best I've seen in a long time. Defensive backfield still a little bit shaky, but they're coming around.
It is third down and 9. Monty Montgomery, what a job he has done. Dodge City's Drew Harris wants to throw long, throws underneath, almost threw a pick. Didn't deliver that ball well at all. And a Blue Dragon defender had a pretty good shot at a pick. It would have been Xavier Terry, but he couldn't come up with it. It's punt time nevertheless.
So the Blue Dragons know that the Conquistadors have to throw, so that time they just rush 3, and you allow guys like Terry to be able to drop back and kind of read the quarterback where he wants to go, and as you mentioned, the best shot of anybody to get it.
All right, back deep for the Blue Dragons, anticipating the punt. Mitchell Tinsley had a pretty nice return in the first half. He stands at his 25-yard line as Devontae Guillory will punt it away. Line of scrimmage to the 36. Guillory gets a good snap, gets off a high floating kick, and Tinsley signals for and makes a fair catch at the 17-yard line. So the Dragon offense back out there. Hutchinson with a couple of scores here in the third quarter to establish complete control in this contest, 35-0. Rusty Hills, Darren Dunn, and Randy McKay with you from the Cowboy Capital, Dodge City. Randy, when you were a kid, did you drag Main Street?
Yeah, that was one of the favorite things to do. Of course, in Pretty Prairie, there's nothing else to do.
Well, here when you drag Main Street, you drag Earp because it's Earp Avenue. And, boy, the Dragon have a big defensive breakdown up the middle and lose big-time yardage on first down. Desmond Jackson, who has had such a nice game, cut down there for a loss of 3.
Elijah Sion gets his 4th tackle for loss.
Football at the 19-yard line. Dragons need to get to the 20, actually at the 14-yard line, need to get to the 27. Ball thrown out to Tinsley. Tinsley makes the catch. Very short gain, if any. Might have gotten back most of the yardage lost on the first down play. It will be third down and 10.
Just the 6th reception of the year for Tinsley over the last couple of games, though, where we've seen him pick up. They're trying to work him more into not only the receiving game, but as you've seen in the punt game.
Clock on the march, 8:20 to play, period number 3. Again, Randy McKay on the sideline, replacing Glenn Grunwald, who is tied up in Hutchinson. Tied up with an engagement, I should clarify that perhaps. Shucker unloads, and it is broken up. Nice defensive play. And the Dragons will have to punt.
Great read by Darshawn Williams. Perfect position right on the hip. Third breakup of the year for Williams.
So the Dragons non-productive on that set of downs. And that will mean coming on the field, Matt Jones to punt it away. His stats are a little bit misleading. He averages about 35 yards a punt, capable of a great deal more than that. Many of his punts have been punts in which he tries to control the distance to prevent them from going into the end zone. Dragons are going to have to take a timeout to avoid a delay of game. And we will too. A break from Dodge City with 8:05 to go in the third quarter. Hutchinson 35, Dodge nothing. Back in half a minute.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. I invite you to join us this winter as the proud tradition of Blue Dragon men's and women's basketball continues at the historic Hutchinson Sports Arena. Both teams are favorites in the tough Jayhawk Conference, so you won't want to miss any of the action. Find the schedule at BlueDragonSports.com, like us on Facebook, and follow Blue Dragon Sports on Twitter. As always, go Blue Dragons.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Hutchinson had a lot of trouble getting rid of Highland. Finally won it on a late field goal, 16-13. Highland playing on this Saturday afternoon in Garden City, giving Garden City a battle. But Garden has scored another touchdown. Garden is up 11. Garden City's offense is clearly the best offense in the league. I think Hutchinson's defense is the best in the league on that side of the football.
Two of the best backs in the nation play for the Broncbusters, and that's why that team is ahead almost 2 times of the Blue Dragons in the rushing category for yards per game on the ground.
Matt Jones gets his punt off, angled for the sideline, takes a Hutchinson roll, rolls out of bounds at the 46, just so-so in terms of distance, but no return. And as we near the middle of the third quarter, Dodge City with pretty decent field position. They put it down at the Conk 47-yard line.
That's been the one thing about great field position. Teams have it all the time. We saw it a lot last week at Coffeyville, and the Blue Dragon defense just always seems to clamp down.
The yellow jersey offensive unit for Dodge City comes out there. And the quarterback continues to be Drew Harris. He hands off, and the Dragons again, they're so quick. It looked like there was a hole on the left side, and then all of a sudden there's 4 jerseys around the football. And it is, you can give the tackle to Monty Montgomery, the PA guy just did, but there were 2 or 3 other Dragons there that were equally involved.
That's one thing coaches talk about all the time when they go back and review tape. They want X amount of bodies in the frame, and if you're not in the frame, in there trying to make a tackle and getting to the ball, then you didn't do what you were supposed to do defensively, and that's what so far this Dragon defense has done so well, getting a lot of defenders in frame at the tackle.
Drew Harris backs out, man in motion, and a whistle before the snap.
You delay a game.
Dodge City running out of time. Back them up 5. And it'll go back to the 43-yard line. Has to be frustrating to play against the Hutchinson defense. They just take away almost all the things that you want to do offensively.
Well, yeah, you noticed early in this one, take away the running game, can't run. Looked like they were giving up the passing game, then clamped down on the passing game. So everything that the Conquistadors think they have exposed, the Blue Dragons shore things up and start stopping the things that were momentarily open.
Second down, 14. Dodge City gains a yard on a running play. That's almost a tape. That's about what they get every time they run it. It'll be third down and very, very long.
Tramel Walthour, one of those guys we don't talk about nearly enough, but he's having himself a ball game this afternoon.
We talked about all the injured Blue Dragons, and there were 6 or 7 of them that were out for the game. including a lot of quality players, but there's been no breakdown, at least on the defensive side of the football that I have seen. Dodge City had a couple of long pass completions in the first half on consecutive plays, but other than that, the Conquistadors have just been pretty much stymied. Pass play on third down, the ball thrown to the sideline, thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Dodge a punt.
So you notice now defensively the Dragons, instead of trying to play that man-to-man defense where they got beat a couple of times, and you just mentioned they shored that up. Now they're throwing a different look where you have the defender, Terry, under, and also Williams over the top. That was a very tight space for Harris to try and hit.
And Tinsley is back for the Blue Dragons. Mitchell's done a pretty good job of handling punts. And Devontae Guillory will get another crack at it. He has been busy for the Conquistadors. Line of scrimmage, the 44-yard line of Dodge City. Tinsley stands at his 20.
Another delay of game.
Wow.
No delay of game. The play clock was not reset to 25 seconds. Please reset the game clock. Play clock to 25 seconds.
And I think they just realized that it didn't reset. So it is not delay a game. It'll stay 4th down and 13. Taking a long time to get it off. Punts off. It's shanked off the side of his foot. Bounces straight up in the air, and Dodge City downs it at the 24-yard line. So the Blue Dragons will have it there. We were talking about the punting of Devontae Guillory, averaging 42 yards a punt coming in. He obviously has a great leg, but very average in punting so far on this pretty Saturday afternoon in western Kansas.
Had two that have gotten a little bit away from him. Those have kind of been rare, as you mentioned, with that great average. At least he hasn't been told he's fired yet, as did the previous punter for this Conquistador team. When he had an 18-yard punt, we saw RPA unofficially have a negative 18-yard punt. Well, if you play for the Conquistadors and punt it for 18 yards, you're fired.
Khalil McLean switches from the right side of the formation to the left. Mason Shucker takes the snap, hands it off, and Jackson taking what he can get. He is so patient at getting started, waits for the hole to be created, slips through it out to the 29-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, it's all arguably a little more patience on that run than we see from him at most times, because a lot of times it opens up so well. He takes it. That run more Le'Veon Bell-esque.
Had an 81-yard touchdown run in the first half, scored another touchdown. He is becoming accustomed to multiple touchdown Saturday afternoons in the Jayhawk. Mason Shucker will give him another chance, and this time he's able, with just the strength of his legs, to get out to the 33, leaving Hutchinson with a 3rd down and 2. Clock continuing to move, now 4:40 to play. 35-0 Hutchinson over Dodge City. No team has come into Memorial Stadium and done to the Conquistadors what Hutchinson has done so far on this particular Saturday. They played everybody tough here. Not so the Dragons. Shucker signals he's ready for the snap. Hands it off to Jackson again. Battles, doesn't get to the yard to gain. He's half a yard shy. The Dragons are not about to take a chance with the defense playing the way it is in the big lead. It'll be 4th down and about a foot. And although the Hutchinson offense would like to go for it, Ryan Rhodes will not have any part of that. So once again, on to kick it away, Matt Jones. Matt from Omaha, one of the biggest kickers in the game, 6'6", 284. He can hammer it. There's a shanked kick by the Hutchinson kicker. Very poor kick. He was running to his side, tried to do that rugby-style kick. Didn't catch it solid at all, and it's out of bounds on the Hutchinson half of the 50.
Well, early in the game, we had those back-to-back interceptions by both teams, and now one punter saying to the other punter, anything you can shank, I can shank better.
or as some people have said, shank you very much. The issue in this one long ago resolved. Hutchinson leads at 35-0. And the Blue Dragons will be 8-1, 6-0 in the conference when Garden City comes to town 2 weeks from today. That'll be a noon kickoff. Garden City has a game next week. Blue Dragons do not. Back to throw. Drew Harris starts to run out of time, does run out of time, back at his 39-yard line. Not a wise decision by Harris. Had an opportunity to throw it away, didn't do it. It's going to be a loss of 13.
Got to have that clock ticking in your head because you know guys like Clarence Hicks and Jalen Pinckney are breathing down on you, and that's just what they did there. Pinckney getting the better of that sack.
Hutchinson second only to Blinn, Texas in number of sacks on the season, and the Dragons with several in this game may have surpassed Blinn. Second down, 23 for Dodge City. Drew Harris. Dodge City goes to the run, and they're loose and breaking free and taking it all the way for a touchdown. Anthony Watkins, where in the world did that come from? Anthony Watkins from 48 yards away. Well, you start to think that Blue Dragon defense is unbeatable, and then Watkins, who has averaged about a yard a carry, all of a sudden gets 48 and a Dodge City touchdown. And now Guillory on to add the extra point. So the short kick for the Blue Dragons may have cost them, although as open as Watkins was on that run, he might have been able to run it in from quite a bit farther away. Dodge City with his first points of the afternoon, 35-7. The Cox will kick to the Dragons after we take this break.
Vehicles are getting pretty smart these days with semi-automatic control features that make driving easier. But riding an RCAT vehicle is easier yet. You don't have to do a thing. Just stand along the route, wave your hand at the driver, and hop on. RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation that travels throughout Hutchinson and South Hutchinson hourly, on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 694-2913 for further information.
21-0 at halftime. Each team has scored an offensive touchdown in the third quarter, but the Blue Dragons also with a defensive score from Monty Montgomery lead it now 35-7. The Hutchinson shutout is gone. Nice run by Anthony Watkins of 48 yards. And the kickoff will be handled by the Dragons in the end zone. They'll not bring it out. Hutchinson will come out to the 25-yard line. And Dodge City defense comes out on the field perhaps with a little bit more spring in their step as the offense finally showing some signs of life.
The trend of this game, though, has been once they do show a little bit of that sign of life, Blue Dragons have been able to answer the call. See if the offense can do it now, because throughout this game, it's been the defense answering that call.
Mason Shucker. So-so afternoon passing, not very good in the first half, a little bit better here in the third quarter. Stands in the shotgun, hands off, and the Dragons slant to the right and get about 3 on first down. That is Bolus.
Bolus in the offense today.
Yeah, thank you. Bolus getting his first carry. Again, Randy on the sideline, courtesy of our good friends at Jackson Meat. Perfect evening for a cookout. Hope you've got some of that good Jackson meat to do it. Randy filling in for Glenn Grunwald. Dragons are second down and 7. Shucker claps, hands off. Bolus battles, gets pushed backwards. Got perhaps a yard. Clock has moved inside 2 minutes to play. Now the extra D-backs come in. Dodge City goes in with a completely different unit on what they perceive as a passing situation for the Dragons on third down and 6. Mason Shucker. Been a quarterback for almost every meaningful play. He drops back, wants to throw, starts to run out of time, throws it in the middle of the field, delivers it a little bit too low for Cephas Smith to get to. When he has been successful, he being Hutchinson quarterback Mason Shucker, it has been for the most part over the middle.
Over the middle, but on those routes where the receivers sit down. That time more of an in-route look for Cephas Smith, and you notice now that the receiver's on the move. Again, back to being a little bit off the mark.
Back deep for Dodge City, and anticipation of the Hutchinson punt. It is Kadarius Satterwhite. Jones gets off a much better punt, although it's angled for the sideline. Might bounce out of bounds and does somewhere around the 35-yard line of Dodge City. So the Dodge City offense, an offense that produced a score the last time it was on the field, comes back out.
I think it's one of those where you don't assume the play's over. We've seen a couple of times where Conquistador running backs have gone into piles early in the game. When the running back scored it back out, it wasn't for much more, but maybe 5 yards or so. That last time, 61-yard scamper for the Blue Dragons. Now that you know you're converging on a guy with 3 or 4, don't assume the other 3 guys in the pile have him down. Finish the play.
Dodge City starts at its own 36-yard line. Conks are 3-5 on the year. Blue Dragons 7-1. And a running play, and the Dragons snuff that out pretty quickly.
And everybody saw the face mask except the officials, because Anthony Ramsey had him up around the helmet and yanked him down by the head.
And Anthony Watkins saying, how in the world could you miss that? He even put his hands on his face mask and shook it up and down. No sympathy whatsoever from the officiating crew. 2nd down and 9. Clock moving. Half a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Dodge City shifting some personnel. Dragons set up defensively. Drew Harris wants to throw it. Floats it downfield and gets a big pass completion. Gets a big pass completion to Terrell Warner down to the Hutchinson 27-yard line. Beaten was Kelvin Clemens.
Clemens is doing a good job of being up over the top, but that's when this combo of Harris and Warner throw that little back shoulder and throw it back underneath the defender where only his receiver can come back and get it.
So Dodge City, scoring the last time it has the football, will go into the 4th quarter trailing 35-7, but making some noise. 4th quarter, 1 minute away.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
322 yards of total offense for the Blue Dragons through 3 quarters. Dodge City 219 on the scoreboard, 35-7. Dodge City has a first down at the Hutchinson 27-yard line. Conquistadors scored the last time they had the football, trying to make it 2 in a row. And they go to the run and get to the 2nd level, and then the Dragon defense shuts it down. It's a carry to the 24, maybe the 23. Anthony Watkins has had almost all the carries in this game, and on that occasion he got 5.
18 times he's touched the ball. Remember, before that big 61-yard run, he was only averaging about 3.5 a carry, so more than doubled that with that big run.
Dodge City wants to throw. Quarterback pops out of pressure. Hutchinson chasing, and the ball thrown upfield, caught on the sideline. Was he out of bounds? I think he was.
He was.
What a job of scrambling by Dodge City quarterback Drew Harris. Somehow came out of a covey of about 4 chasers to get the pass off, but it's incomplete. 3rd down and 6. Dragon defense surrendering 1 touchdown. Would like to prevent any additional scoring. 14-15 to play in the game.
Dodge City just 2 conversions on 3rd down last week. 2 conversions here this afternoon, 2 of 12.
And they run the pitch out to the side, and it is taken by Watkins. 3rd time we've seen that, where quarterback Drew Harris just starts running to his right, almost shoves it out to Anthony Watkins. Got to the edge, but not enough to pick up a 1st down. 4th down and 3. Score from the Big 12 this afternoon. It was Oklahoma over TCU, 52-27. TCU coach Gary Patterson, well, he's an alumnus of Dodge City Community College. 4th down and 3. Steve Carpenter gleefully passing along the news that Nebraska is up 14-0. 4th down, they go for it and deliver too high. That could be a late hit. They're going to let it go. Incomplete pass, and the Dragons will take over on downs. That's pretty close to a late hit.
Well, it could have been a lot of things because you have another receiver downfield blocking as that ball is thrown past the line of scrimmage, so that was the first thing. And then secondly, I think they give Clemens the benefit of the doubt, knowing that the ball had just passed through that area. But you're right, on those bang-bang plays, sometimes it can look like there was some extracurricular activity.
Dragons take over on downs. The Dragon defense again shuts down Dodge City. Now the Hutchinson offense. Yeah, I'd give the Hutchinson offense a C, I think, so far on this Saturday afternoon. They go back to the run, and boy, I tell you what, there is some battling being done right there by Bolus, and he works his way out to the 31-yard line. That's just tough power running in the middle of the field.
Just to let you know, Bolus is in there because Jackson came out of the one series and was limping a little bit. I asked him if everything was okay. He said he's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Dragons cannot afford under any scenario to lose Desmond Jackson. New quarterback in there for the Blue Dragons, are playing back there. I don't know whether you call that a...
Yeah, they've officially put in Arian Strong, and he hands off to Brad D. We saw that huge special teams play he had earlier, and finally getting to pay it off on the offensive side of things with a touch.
He was in there once earlier, almost a wildcat situation. This more of a straight quarterback situation. He's listed as a quarterback from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, 6'5", 236 pounds. Big, strong kid. 2nd down and 9. And Hutchinson will spend a timeout. 12:10 to play in the football game. Hutchinson 35 and Dodge City 7. Let's take a break.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Well, Mason Shucker has gone the distance to this point, and right now the Blue Dragons with Arian Strong at quarterback spot. Hadn't seen him in that spot, to the best of my knowledge, any time this season prior to this Saturday afternoon.
You are correct. Bart Harris, of course, the other guy to get some work, and you mentioned Nolan Arrington as well against RPA.
And it's going to be a run by the big quarterback, and he is strong. Pushes his way out to the 36-yard line. That's a pickup of 6. Totally different look. Mason Shucker's not going to take off and run very often when he's out there. Arian Strong says, I literally am strong. I will run it.
I was going to tell you, you wouldn't trust a lot of quarterbacks to go head first into a 4-man pile like that, but they obviously do with Arian Strong.
Third down, a little bit less than 5 yards to go for the Blue Dragons. Clock moving, 11 and a half to play in the game. Quarterback throws it, and it is broken up. Pass was intended for Blue Dragon number 1 on the far side. That was Jalik Jagway, well guarded. And Hutchinson will punt it. It is such a nice afternoon in Dodge City that quite a congregation of gnats have arrived at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, I was wondering why I was getting so itchy. I've been trying to throw them off of paperwork and spot charts since about halftime.
Don't send them over here. There's enough of them over here already. All right, punt time. Punt's off, and it's a beauty. Oh, my goodness, what a pretty punt. Fair catch made, then fumbled. It looks on the field, and I think Dodge City got on top of it at the 21-yard line.
Well, it sounded like he had an inadvertent whistle as well because the ball was not fielded cleanly. We may have to redo this with the inadvertent whistle that came in while the ball was loose.
I think the officiating crew assumed that it was going to be handled. It was a very, very nice punt by Matt Jones.
So are you ready for the mechanic on this?
Sure.
So the mechanic is once the ball is snapped, the whistle comes out of the mouth. That way you have to actually see the ball, know that it's been possessed, or that the play is completely over, the ball is down, or in this case, fair caught, play is over, to grab the whistle and bring it up to your mouth. Instead, with the whistle already in the mouth, you assume it's caught. Things like this happen. You normally would have that extra second to pull it up and decide, oh, the ball just came out, don't blow it. Here, the official blows it too soon.
I need to have you explain the mechanic of a calculus class.
That's more your territory. I don't know if I could do that. You'd have to explain that to me.
Well, they're still talking about it. Make a decision, guys. 11:19 to go. Hutchinson up 28. Whatever you're going to do, let's do it now. I think they're going to decide to just put the ball down where the muff punt was recovered by Dodge City.
Yeah, might as well. You'll just get downgraded for it in the after-game report.
Okay. Dodge City back to work. They've got to throw in about every play. It's going to turn into a quarterback draw and room to run. Dandy job. And all the way out to the 39-yard line for Dodge City goes Drew Harris. Beaton comes up to make the stop for Hutchinson, but it is a nice pickup of 17. Dodge City's offense has gotten a little bit rejuvenated here in the second half after the Dragon defense was so stifling for the first two-thirds of the game. Now the ball thrown upfield, picked off, intercepted by the Dragons, another pick, and taking it upfield to about the 30-yard line with the interception for the Blue Dragons. Big, strong number 46. That is Malik Wilkerson.
Back in that middle linebacker position where you normally see Monty Montgomery, and he's able to make a similar play.
So what is that? 2 picks for the Dragons on this Saturday afternoon. That gives them on the season now a whopping 16 interceptions. Dragons have the ball back, 10:40 to go. Mason Shucker. Or no, that's Nolan Arrington now at the quarterback spot for the Blue Dragons. So Coach Ryan Rhodes is using a bunch of quarterbacks. And the Downs crew on the far side of the field a little bit slow and getting things set up. And now they've got it stretched the wrong direction. What's the mechanic on that?
Well, normally you would at least have an official's timeout, but they're hoping nobody noticed. And by this point, everyone's had a chance to notice, including the gnats in the press box.
Randy, there any gnats down where you are?
There are gnats and there are spider webs.
Arrington throws it out. Bolas can't make the catch. Arrington threw it a little bit too hard. Bolas tried to handle it over his shoulder, couldn't do it. And it'll be second down and 10. Neither of these two teams has completed a good percentage of their passes. Each team has had some individual moments where the passing attack was productive. I'm not too sure that I don't prefer a little bit of breeze in western Kansas to this gnat infestation. Arrington avoids a blitz, now throws it out of bounds. He actually threw it away, but he did a great job of avoiding a blitz. And the Dragons will have third down and 10 at the 27-yard line of Dodge City.
And he wouldn't have had much of an option either if he would have tried to throw it downfield to Bolas. Official's hat was on the ground. Bolas had stepped out of bounds down around the end zone.
Third down at the 27 of Dodge City. Hutchinson 35, Dodge City 7. 10.5 to go. Nolan Arrington at quarterback. Third Dragon quarterback of the afternoon. Runs a quarterback draw. Puts his head down, takes it to the 21-yard line, and we'll see whether Ryan Rhodes will allow a field goal attempt.
That's another one where you applaud Arrington for making a quick decision, but if he reads that block by Usman Trayor a little bit better, he has a better chance at getting to the first down marker. Instead goes to the right, immediately tackled.
Hutchinson will not take the field goal try. Offense looks toward the sideline. Coaches say, stay out there. Let's pick up 6 here. And now a timeout will be taken. 9:56 to go in the game. 35-7 Hutch. Let's take a break.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
I believe now the decision has been made by the Dragons to try the field goal. Sebastian Garcia, a very, very capable field goal kicker for Hutchinson, young man from South Carolina. 8 out of 11 on field goal tries this year. One of them was a 48-yarder. That tied a Hutchinson school record. This one they'll put down at the 29-yard line, 39-yard field goal attempt, slight angle from the right side. Snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is low. Line drive looks good, and it is. Sebastian Garcia, I don't know whether they'll rule that 39 or 40. It was right on the number. They're making a 40-yard field goal by Garcia and move the Dragon advantage now to 38-7. We're going to take a timeout. Hutchinson will kick to Dodge City with a game well in hand when we return in half a minute.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
9 out of 12 field goal kicking now in the season for Sebastian Garcia. Dragons comfortable. Low kickoff, handled at the 25-yard line and brought out to about the 37, 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Pretty decent return for Dodge City's Kadarius Satterwhite.
First down, Conquistadors.
And Dodge City, we'll see how they want to handle the final 9:44. Dodge City clustered around the sideline. The offense will need to come out. Is there a flag that I didn't see? Evidently there was.
Outside. Number 3, Hutchinson. 5 yards to the ball spot.
All right, Hutchinson offsides. So move the football upfield to the 44-yard line on Dodge City's half of Memorial Stadium.
And it looks like you will get a new quarterback in John Lux.
He'll come in and, pardon the very bad pun, try to shed a little light on this situation. John is 23 of 54 passing on the season. He loads it up and throws upfield and completes it immediately, and then a vicious hit by Kelvin Clemens jars the ball loose and gives an Excedrin headache to a Dodge City receiver who is shaken up. Boy, that was a hard hit.
Yeah, not only the head, but feeling it in the lower back type of hit that will give you those lower back spasms.
Trying to get up. Had it in his hands, but no way he could hang on. This Hutchinson offense will punish you. And while they work on the injured Dodge City player, let's take 30 seconds for these good folks.
You're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
It may be as simple as having had the breath knocked out of him.
That's Daquan Bailey Brown.
Yeah. Coming into the game, he had 8 catches for 148 yards. One of them was a 77-yard touchdown try. That time, he had no chance. A tremendous hit by Kelvin Clemens.
Really a great route, great pitch and catch. The only thing is, once Clemens comes in, he's able to jar it loose by going through Bailey Brown's lower back.
It will be. Go ahead, Randy.
Unfortunately, it's a wide receiver's nightmare when you have to leave the ground in front of a defender.
That is the essence of the position, though. But it doesn't make it any easier. That is for sure. Lux this time hands off, and the Dragons are in the backfield. This play will go from lost yardage.
This is kind of where Jalen Pinkney has lived this afternoon.
So it will be 3rd down. Let's call it no gain on the play.
No gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Clock moving down toward 9 minutes to go. It is a game that started at 1 o'clock. It is getting close to 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not a whole lot of penalties, but a whole lot of incomplete passes have frozen the clock and occasioned the length of this contest. Lux wants to throw. Pressure comes. He throws it as downfield, and it is out of bounds at the 20-yard line of Hutchinson. So it's punt time for Dodge City. And now a little gimpy coming off for Dodge City, Anthony Watkins. Back on to punt it, Devontae Guillory. Mitchell Tinsley will try to return for the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson leads at 38-7. Dragon coaches, for the most part, have been pretty happy with what Mitchell Tinsley has done back there. He's done a pretty good job of handling punts, had one really nice return. More importantly, he's fielded the punts that were fieldable. Here's a high catch. Tinsley signals and makes a fair catch at the 21-yard line on that very high punt off the feet of Devontae Guillory. So the Dragons will go back to work at the 21-yard line. Randy, is Des Jackson up, moving around, appear to be fine?
Yeah, he is, but it looks like they're just going to stick with this second team backfield as much as they can here the rest of the game.
And I certainly don't disagree with that. No point in taking a chance. Nolan Arrington is the quarterback. Drake Bolus the running back. Dragons start at their 21-yard line. Arrington hands off. Bolus starts up the middle, breaks to the left. Got about a yard for his efforts. Again, Hutchinson a bye week next week. Dragons will try to get some people healthy. Among the people not playing this afternoon, Andrew Lee, Jonathan White, two good running backs. Jalen Pant, a linebacker, is out. Art Green is out. Latrell Bankston, defensive lineman, out. Aaron Collins, tremendous running back, all out. Hopefully some of those can come back for the Garden City contest. Second down, 8. Arrington gives. Bolus finds a hole in the middle of the field. It closes, and we'll give him credit for 3 yards to the 26.
Biggest question I think you have now going into that bye week is seeing if you can get that passing game back to where it needs to be with beautiful conditions today. Kind of hoping that Shucker could get into a rhythm. Now, to his credit, I guess, 2 quarterbacks came into this game with terrible games last week, and neither one of them had any of a better day today.
No, it was a tough afternoon for the Dragon offense, but they had plenty of offense to handle Dodge City, and the defense chipped in with 2 defensive scores. Arrington delivers a strike, and it's going to be a first down out to the 40-yard line. Arrington with a nice throw to Delron Donaldson.
Took a shot when he delivered it, too. Kashawn Robinson probably lucky he didn't get a targeting call.
Fayetteville, Georgia is the home of Nolan Arrington, 6'1", 190-pound freshman. And the Blue Dragons move the chains, keep the clock moving. Now tiptoeing under the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Arrington hands off. Bolus slants left, keeps the legs churning. Not a whole lot for his efforts, maybe 2. Second down and 8. High school football again on Friday night. The Eagle broadcast crew, myself included, will be in Topeka as Hutchinson High School will go up against one of the state's very best in Topeka High. Arrington will throw, puts it on target. Again, sideline left, short of the first down. Again, a throw to Donaldson. About 4 yards shy of a first down. Not sure the Dragons necessarily wanted to go out of bounds. Third down and 4. Arrington looks down at his wrist, ready to go. Bolus is the running back. Dodge City threatening blitz. Bolus gets the carry, puts his head down, runs right into the area from which the blitz comes, but might have gotten a first down. Looks to me like he did, but nope, the official's going to put it down shy.
I think this is a position you can go ahead and think about going for it.
No indication whatsoever that the Dragons are going to punt it. Ryan Rhodes trying to get some confidence in his offense. They go right straight ahead and get the first down. Arrington kept it. The pile was back at the 50-yard line, and all of a sudden Arrington squirted out like ketchup out of a bottle and has a first down.
It's almost one of those where only him and the center were the ones to move. You look at the receiver split out to the left. He didn't even move on that play. It was all the quarterback.
So the Dragons with a first down now at the 47 of Dodge City. By the time the Dragons snap it here, we'll be close to 5 minutes to play in this game. Hutchinson 38-7. Terrible snap. My goodness, way over the head of Arrington, who has to go back and retrieve it. You know, Mason Shucker has dealt with some of those snaps, but not even Mason would have been able to get to that one.
Yeah, you took the thoughts right out of my head because we've seen him jump up countless times this year to pull him down, but those are footballs that are up maybe 7 feet in the air. That was closer to 12 to 15.
That looked like a Gemini launch. So the Dragons lose a whole bunch. Second down and 22. And the Dragons try to set Bolus up, and he's battling to get back to the line of scrimmage. Breaks free. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. What a tremendous effort by Drake Bolus.
Talked about a couple of plays that the Conquistadors had offensively where defenders thought the play was over and a running back scored free. Bolus does the same there to go 55 yards.
Dragons are and goal at the 4-yard line, leading 38-7, 4 minutes to play in the game.
Brandon Pennerton had Bolus wrapped up by his ankles down behind the line of scrimmage. Thought his teammates at least polished him off up top, and next thing you know, he was scampering toward the end zone.
Brandon gets a high snap, hands it off to Bolus. Bolus battling, pushing. Touchdown! Drake Bolus from 4 yards out. And the Blue Dragons move on top 44-7 with 3:42 to play. Well, that was kind of the Drake Bolus show on that drive for Hutchinson.
It's good to see him get that payoff as well. A lot of times running backs, they run that far, they have to come out. You love to keep them in and finish off what they started.
And now once again on to add the extra point. Normally sure-footed Sebastian Garcia. Bingo one more time. 45-7 Hutch. 3:42 to go. Final Hutchinson kickoff perhaps coming up in half a minute.
This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
45-7, there is absolutely no doubt as to the outcome. A lot of different folks getting to play significant minutes this afternoon in western Kansas. And the Blue Dragons will go back home 8-1, still atop the pack in the Jayhawk Conference, probably tied with Garden City. High kick into the end zone. Dodge will bring it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. And actually not quite to the 20-yard line before being upended. More like the 18-yard line. And the Dodge City offense comes out with 3:35 to go. It has been a workmanlike performance by the Blue Dragons. It's hard to be super critical of the Hutchinson offense when there's 45 points up there. But I still would rate it as a very ordinary performance.
Well, I think your concerns are in the passing game, and your concern is, too, remember, 14 of those points came from Monty Montgomery in this defense.
Yep. Dodge City looks like they're going to try to keep it on the ground. They may be as interested as the Blue Dragons are in running off the final 3.5 minutes of this game.
And the reason it is the most concerning is because you now look ahead. Now that this one is is in the bag, not for the players, but for us looking ahead, is the fact that against Garden City, you will need a team that is multifaceted, not only able to get it done on the ground, but also through the air. And we've not seen the same Mason Shucker since Butler, September 29th. He has struggled.
Dodge City quarterback is John Lux, young man out of Indiana. Looks at second down and long. Hands off. Pretty good gain. Short of the first down by 2 or 3 yards. Dodge City, a team that has thrown a bunch in this game, content to keep it on the ground. It will leave a 3rd down and 2 with 2.5 minutes to go. Want you to stay with us. After the game, we'll be joining Randy McKay down on the football field as he talks to Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes.
You mentioned how much this Dodge City team likes to pass coming into the game. In fact, 41 of their first downs had come via the pass, twice as many as have come on the ground.
Lux with time throws, and there's a miscommunication. Receiver cut to the inside. The ball was thrown to the sideline, and as a result, it's 4th down and 2. And I think Dodge City's going to punt it away. I don't think either team has any interest in stopping the clock. The remaining 2 minutes and 2 seconds may pass by pretty quickly. I want to say a big thank you to Larry Stonecipher for doing our engineering back at the station. Always does a good job on top of things. And Larry, we appreciate you. And there's the punt, and it's a beauty. Oh, perfect spiral. Tinsley goes back, fields it over his shoulder at the 23-yard line, and it's not going to be much of a return out to the 25. But again, if he doesn't field that, probably bounds downfield another 10 or 15 yards. Not that it would be key at all in this game, but in many games it would. I like Tinsley back there.
Yeah, his decision-making has been a little bit better than others that we've seen, and the thing is, those build. The more confidence he gets, even if it's just a simple, fair catch, if it's with a defender or a couple defenders in his face, it gives him more and more confidence to not only stand in there and catch it, but stand in there and not even fair catch sometimes and take off like we saw him do earlier in this one.
Now Khalil McLean will take the snap from center for the Blue Dragons.
Former high school quarterback, told you he's just in about every statistical category you can find for the Blue Dragons.
Takes the snap. Wants to throw it, rolls to his right, wants to run it to the 30. And upended at the 33-yard line. Khalil McLean scrambles for about 6 or 7. Stays in bounds, keeps the clock moving.
By the way, also leads this team in receiving not only receptions, but touchdowns.
Yeah, he is a talent. Young man from Fairburn, Georgia. Boy, are there a lot of good players in this conference from the state of Georgia. Give him 7, 2nd down and 2. This time he hands, no, he keeps, goes around the other side. He is on the move, still running, out close to midfield and to the 48-yard line. What a job by Khalil McLean.
It's going to help his rushing stat line because in that category coming into this game, he had negative 4 yards on the year.
No longer negative. Now we're inside a minute, the ball at the 49-yard line. Blue Dragons might be close to ready to take a knee.
I'd like to see McLean throw it to himself downfield.
I don't think that's legal. He might be quick enough to get there, though. A little soft floater. Now he stays back in the shotgun, takes a snap, moves forward. Now he takes a knee. And the Dragons won't have to snap it again. Dodge City has no interest in extending this football game. And Hutchinson, in convincing fashion, has taken care of Dodge City's Conquistadors 45-7. We'll add things up be back with postgame in 2 minutes.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more health issues I seem to have. Fortunately, the physicians at Prairie Star understand. They watch over me, and if my blood pressure, glucose levels, darn cholesterol numbers, or anything else needs attention, they provide an appropriate medical plan. This is truly quality health care. Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelias, filled with thousands of beads and stones. And with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelias, 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons!
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Don't pack away your summer pieces just yet. It may still be warm, yet summer to fall fashions are here at Brick House Boutique. Comfortable and affordable casual clothes at 117 South Main in Hutchinson. Big city chic in a downtown boutique.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Desmond Jackson got things started for the Blue Dragons with an 81-yard touchdown run with just 3.5 minutes gone in the game. He added another first-half touchdown. Monty Montgomery, a couple of defensive scores, one on a strip taken into the end zone from about 20 yards away, one on a pass interception, one of three that the Dragons would have on this Saturday afternoon. Jalen Irwin caught a touchdown pass. Sebastian Garcia booted a field goal, and Drake Bolas scored on a 4-yard run after a spectacular run one play prior to that. And when it all adds up, the Blue Dragons come up with a big win, a comfortable win over Dodge City by a score of 45-7. There are things that you can nitpick, but there's also a lot of things that you can appreciate. You can appreciate certainly the consistency of this Hutchinson defense. Game after game after game, they bring it. And 14 points from the defense tonight. They actually outscored Dodge City 14-7. And Monty Montgomery, a couple of defensive scores. He might very well be the National Player of the Year. Quickly, Darren, your thoughts.
Well, you nailed it right there with Monty Montgomery, what he was able to do, a pick six and a strip six. The Blue Dragons gave up 113 yards on the ground to Dodge City, but keep in mind, you take away that 61-yard touchdown by Watkins, and the Blue Dragons would have only given up 52, which is right around that season average of just under 50 yards per game on the ground given up.
We're going to go ahead and close out the game portion of our broadcast. Stay with us. We'll have Randy McKay visiting with Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes right after this.
And that concludes another exciting game of Hutchinson Community College sports. The Blue Dragons on Eagle Radio are brought to you in part by Rothy